Look at me. I got it like. Okay, we're live. Okay, we're live on all three of them. And I did drop the link, guys. So I have Macarene and Gabrielle on. We were just talking about, so I don't know, we were just talking about Inventing Anna and Bad Vegan, but I want to talk about Bad Vegan first because that was crazy. Like, so you did see it, right, Gab?
Yes, I see it, and it's just insane to see in the Bad Vegan, in the first episode, the name of Alec Baldwin is coming. Very funny.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's what they were saying.
And
that's
she was almost the new love of Alec Baldwin.
Almost.
Oh, he made almost because she doesn't understand. He wants to have.
I think she wanted to, though. I think she was mad that she wasn't.
Because I say one thing. When you see this woman, she was very beautiful. She had everything in her life she came to have. She had the love of the investment people. She had the love of the public. She had everything, but
everything.
She came to see Alec Baldwin want to have maybe love story with her. She almost don't see. She want to see, and I don't understand her. Really, I really don't understand her. She said, "Oh, I don't think I don't see really when Alec wants something with me. I tell him to go to adopt a dog, and she find her dog Leon. She fell in love with this dog, and after that, in the same time, Alec meet Hilaria." In the restaurant.
You mean Hillary?
Hillary. I'm sorry.
Hillary from Boston.
Yes, I'm sorry. In the restaurant of Samra, because she calling Samra this beautiful young woman. It's very blonde girl. He find Hillary in the restaurant of Samra.
I was just like, so now she was married to the guy, right? The guy that was like the chef. Well, he was like a decent guy. But like, do you believe that she was completely 100% manipulated by that guy? Like, do you think she had anything? Do you think like what do you think? Like I could see how she could start out getting manipulated by him, but when you get to the point where like your mom sent him $400,000, like
I will tell you just one thing. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry to say that, but I don't know what is the problem of this woman. She doesn't see when someone wants to have a relation with her. She doesn't see. She doesn't see that.
So you think she was completely blindsided by this guy?
I think she was completely blindsided by herself first, because she doesn't want. She was all along of the episode. She was, oh, this guy, he was related with Alec. After we have a house not very far with Alec Baldwin. You see the presence of Alec Baldwin in some, drop all this episode. She had maybe in her mind, Alec Baldwin is the one she's not got away. Is the one she's not get. And this guy is coming to, he calling Anton. I think Anton. This guy is coming to just make a place.
Yeah, like he's like a nobody, but like he was nobody though. Like I mean, after like there's a certain point where like everything that he was saying was you can't a normal person.
It.
Yeah, like what a point. Like that's why I don't believe when she went on the run that she didn't know. I don't think that I think that she knew that he was getting the money from her mom. I really do.
$6 million. He getting $6 million money. When you see the last episode, you see the amount of whole money a mother of her of all she gives is $6 million. I'm sorry, where his money goes?
Where he spent it, he gambled it all away.
6 million?
It's easy to hide it though. Like,
right?
Krista. Like, if people in that lifestyle,
do you know think how to that's hide what money. They did? I'm like towards the end, I was like starting to believe that like, how could she be that stupid? I don't even want to say stupid, but that manipulated. Like, I
think
can't.
I
The
think
I mean, if
you
you can give 6 million, right? Just if you can give 6 million, that means you have money to investigate someone who has nothing in their background. You know,
That's
like
what I
if nobody's
mean.
heard
He had.
this person and they have no money,
I
then you
know.
have money to investigate to figure out who they are. So I think you're right, Krista, in the sense of like how naive was she
How
actually
did it?
being, and is she just playing it up?
And like yeah, like she gave her whole life. I mean, I don't know. At some point, like
just
she
I
wasn't on
think
drugs. She wasn't gambling with him. So why would she want to ruin and risk her company?
because
Because why?
she was afraid to be alone.
Yeah, bad
She
vegan Norma.
was afraid to lost her animals. She
Her
was
what?
afraid her companion, the little dog Leon. She was afraid to lost everything in her life, and
But she did though.
she was
She gave it all to
afraid.
him.
She is craving for love.
Yeah, but
I
you can
mean,
She's
still crave
craving
that
for
and
love.
still be smart, you know, like
that's what I mean. Like,
It's
how did you not know that he was taking? And how did her parents must have that much money that her dad didn't notice that much money gone missing.
and I say, Norma, I love you, Norma. I see you in the common, Norma. I love you. And yes, it's bad vegan because he proposed to her, Anton, he's calling Anton, this guy, to be immortal and her dog also.
But I know, I understand all that. I just don't see. I'm just saying, like, she wasn't on drugs. She wasn't gambling with him. How? What could she have possibly gained from
What?
giving all her money to him, right?
What?
Or like giving all her money to him, and then just going on the run and covering up your tattoo. At that point, I'm like, I mean,
you know
come on.
something's happening. If you're
Yeah,
getting
like,
up and running, you know
yeah.
something's wrong.
I was
And
like, I didn't feel bad for her anymore, and I'm like watching her do this interview, and I'm like, and she still talks to him, and I'm like watching her facial expressions, and I'm like, why is she even talking to him? First of all, like,
I think she, you know what? This guy is touching in her mind something. Because one of my friends, one of my friend, it's also a psychologue. We speak about that. We speak about that because we are European and we don't understand. I see one thing. I see one thing about that. Any woman who are maybe she had some very fear of loneliness can to be in possibility of this amount of craving, love bombing, everything like that of all of this manipulation is possible. Not at this, not that much, but it's possible to be when you are alone with you, with your mind, with everything, to be manipulated by someone else
I
because
mean,
you are
I
craving
guess.
for love.
I mean, I guess. I guess. I was like watching her because I was like, man, what a great idea. Like, that was an awesome idea. Like, that was the first of its kind. Like, she was wildly popular and wildly successful. And
Everybody loves her. When you
that's what
see
I
all the,
mean. So, I mean, she's not like she needed him. She didn't need him. She was
but
going to
you,
get out from under that debt eventually because her business was making money. They just couldn't afford his lifestyle, which
but
to
you,
me, she thought, huh?
she can afford to he had a good lifestyle because
No, she
her
did. She did have a
her
good lifestyle. She couldn't afford to pay for him to be a gambler.
but who can to be afford his lifestyle if she
Well,
can
yeah,
who
she had to.
and where is he now? Where is this guy? Because he's not in jail. She's
No, he spent his time in jail. He did his time served. He only got a year, which is bullshit.
Which is
But
more
I
to do
mean,
with the
they handed,
system than him, you know what I mean? Like, and that's
yeah,
everywhere. It's not just America. Like the whole everyone's system is stuffed.
it's crazy.
and
I
she's
mean, I could that and the Anna, and then watching this Anna, inventing Anna, and I was like, I got confused. Where like, I don't know if you guys saw, I forget. Like now with the bad vegan, let's go back there. For bad vegan, I don't know. He wasn't even good looking. I don't know at what point she didn't think that these people were. I mean, she literally went to a foreign
yes,
country.
Bessie.
She went to a foreign country with the whole business back at him. That's what I'm saying. She had everything, but it had to be mental. If she wasn't on drugs and she wasn't gambling with him, she definitely wasn't in love with him because she didn't want to sleep in the same bedroom with him.
And she ate a pizza with cheese.
What?
But she's vegan. You know, at the end,
She never said that's the thing. She never claimed to be vegan, did she? She
claimed to be vegan. She claimed to be vegan.
She had a restaurant,
she claimed to be vegan, and you, in the end, you see when she was in jail, she tried to convert everybody to be vegan. And because it's interesting because
it's probably his patty that ordered the pizza.
She has the same
seriously, I think it was his patty that did it. No.
She really believed in veganism. You see her love of veganism. You see her love of a restaurant. You see everything. She loved her life. She loved everything.
That's what I mean. So it didn't make sense to me why she believed in this man. I mean, even like the fact that her mom even had that much money laying around, that her father didn't realize it. Why? She could have went to her parents if she was in trouble. If she needed to get out from under that debt, which I don't think that she had to. I think that guy was more than gracious enough to let her go. I at the end, I was so disappointed because I was like, man, I don't believe her anymore. I just didn't at the end.
I think it's hard with people like that because we see like people like me and you know, we see the reality of because we've been around probably some of the worst people. So we kind of expect the worst and we're like, well, that's stupid. How did you not see that coming? Like you can, and I think too, you can usually tell when you look in someone's eyes if they're dodgy. So you're like, well, how did that happen? And like, if you're so successful and you're so rich and you mix in with A-class people, like, how do you end up in these situations? And you have to think like it's probably a mental and emotional abuse thing.
Right.
She was the most lovely cookers, the most lovely chef in New York at this time with her restaurant. She almost was the second wife of Alec Baldwin. I think she tried to destroy herself by she not see the Alex situation. I think she want to be loved. She doesn't want to be loved. She doesn't want to have a healthy, a good relationship.
She could have had anybody but that guy. She could have had anybody she wanted. Why that guy? You know
because
what I mean?
She doesn't want to have a good love,
but
love
she
story with someone. She doesn't want to have something very equilibrated and very normal. She doesn't want that. She wants to have something very special because I think it's just a possibility. I don't want to be innocent to her. I don't want to be negative because maybe she wants something very extraordinary. She was afraid. She was in fear with Alec Baldwin possibility, but almost she wants to go it. She doesn't go it. She make herself in bad way. But maybe she has the possibility because she very look like Kim Basinger in some way.
I think with her being an introvert too, maybe that had a lot to do. Like, because I get like that. I've literally became like the worst introvert, but like I think maybe too, like she got in over her head and just couldn't deal with it. But like, I mean, like you're so successful, but like to just give up everything. But and then you have people
the idea.
Yeah.
Like it's the idea of what could be and the love and the story that's been sold to you. And if you're not like Tess said, if you're not a confident person, whether you're rich or not, like you're just not confident. And
true.
People see that as a weakness and they take advantage of that. But even still, like I know what you're saying because I'm the same. I'm like, why didn't you see it, stupid? Like
I feel like like at one point, like your poor mother, like come on.
I will say one thing: if she really loved her by herself, she never do everything in the story, and she go to have one date with Alec to see. I had maybe the possibility to
but you're like so obsessed with this Alex situation
because she has
to give up the Alex
because I
think you want to be with Alec.
No, you know what? Because what I see with the story with Alec Baldwin, she was almost in really happiness maybe in her own mind with this story with Alec Baldwin. She has this story
Like
in
he
her
became
head.
worse than her own husband. Like he's a worse person
Maybe
than her
we
husband.
don't know, but I think
Yes, we do.
There's
yes,
plenty of stories to back up that
yes,
Alec
we
Baldwin's
know
Alec
not the
Baldwin's a
nicest
bad
Alec.
person.
person.
We know Alec is maybe the worst thing she had on her life, but
I mean, come
she
on, he
doesn't
saved Hillary
know.
from Boston.
Yes,
I mean,
but
the stories that you hear about the way he's treated his eldest daughter.
Right,
oh,
I
yeah.
mean, that's horrible if
do
Yeah.
they're as true as what they say.
yes,
Yeah.
it's true because you have the footage of
So I mean, like
the.
she dodged a bullet with that one too, you know.
She did everything. Oh, but she has, this some phantasma in her head. Some, maybe if I was good with him, I will be happy. But she tried to be. Why she doesn't adopt a kid? Why she doesn't go to be a foster mom? Why she's so I don't
I
understand
was
it.
wondering, like, too, like maybe she could probably recreate this entire situation. She could probably recreate that whole thing now because people are starting to get back into that raw vegan thing. Like, she would need just to I know, Norma. I'm trying because I can't see my lips. I gained like 15 pounds this week. I've become a whole mess.
You look great.
Thank you.
I guess
Just like she could recreate this whole thing again. I just don't think people would invest in her. You know,
because people know when
but
this guy
like
is just around her, she doesn't get the money with her. We see that the guy with this guy at the end with all these black, this black jacket say, when I see this guy this day, I must do this body in the river. It's like that. I don't understand because she was very, I don't know, with any strength about this guy. You heard at the end, she speak with him in the phone, and she laughing with him and say, "Yes, but you
I
should not
know,
do."
like
And I
what,
say,
that in
"Okay,
that
girl,
conversation is like, ugh,
you don't break with this guy. He has this power to you. It's like a coke or maybe a drug. Don't go with this guy
maybe,
around you. Don't go. Yes, it's a drug for her. It's really a drug. I think this guy
yeah.
it's
Oh,
like
he's gross.
Superman with the kryptonite. This
But
guy
like he's a clown. Like he turned out to be a complete clown, like a Dear John type guy, who like literally was just some dork from Florida that didn't fucking want to work. Like
I don't know.
Well,
That
you remember the
insanity.
story of the guy in the OC that
That's like Dear John, right?
yeah,
That's
is that him?
Dear
Yeah.
John. Yeah, the
Like
same thing almost, just
like you
about.
see real pictures of these men and you're like,
Yes,
I wouldn't like I'm not a prize pig myself,
me
but like
neither.
I wouldn't look at these guys and be like, oh, you're so sexy. And like there's
Right?
just I think some
I
people are just
know.
more aware than others,
Wait,
like Norma said,
and this guy,
it's street smarts.
he's literally getting fat, going to the and gambling her money away and getting fat and eating and not working and telling her, and she's believing that he's this covert ops guy who's going and he's putting a meat suit on. I was like, this is not real life. Please tell me this is not in real life.
you know,
He's
A
$6
meat
million.
suit.
$6 million. Look at what?
you know what? I'm
Wow.
sorry to do that, but I prefer Jen Shah than this guy. I prefer Jen Shah and this guy. I'm sorry to do that. This guy, it just, it's a joke.
Jen
It's
Shah
a
would love
joke.
this chick. Oh my god, could you imagine Jen Shah could get out of her? Holy crap.
I prefer Jen Shah than this guy, not her, than this guy.
I'm just saying. I'm like I'm in the wrong business. Like I'm talking about selling feet pics for Christ's sakes, and this chick, he's out spending $6 million of somebody else's money, getting fat, spend it in gambling, and everybody believes this guy, and everybody just hands him money. I'm like, what am I doing wrong here? Isn't that not?
No, everybody believed her, not this guy. Everybody.
Oh no, they believed
her.
him. Like her mother was like, well, see, that's the thing. Like I really think that she had him call her mom. Because I don't think that there's no way this woman gave away $450,000 to somebody that she didn't really know his last name. She didn't speak to her daughter. At one point, isn't the mom like, yo, I just gave this guy, I mean, $1,000 at least. Like $1,000 could red flag, right? But like 450.
I just have to ask one question.
Yeah.
Who's this guy? We all these
Nobody,
people
literally
in
nobody.
New York. Yes, everybody, but people in New York, I say criminal people in New York. You know how these guys, he takes
That
money,
guy?
gambling every time. Yes, this guy.
Nobody knew who he was. He wasn't pretty either.
But I say, this guy, he was in New York. You have maybe criminals in New York, maybe everything like that.
No, he
in New
knew
York.
new criminal. He knew new criminal people. He did not know any criminal. Like he knew nobody.
He knew nobody.
No, he literally moved there from Florida and acted like he was on Twitter and acted like he knew Alec Baldwin. He acted like, I guess maybe he had like a Twitter relationship. He created fake personalities. This guy Will. He created like
But
all
I'm
kinds of
sorry,
shit.
when he was in jail,
Huh?
When this guy was in jail.
He was
Okay.
from Florida. He was married to his high school sweetheart, and he left her. He ran off and left her after he stole all her money. Or
And
some
in-
crap.
People are like
in-
that though. They just
Huh?
have no
was-
morals.
He's like a weirdo. Like, I don't
Okay,
know.
but-
He was like wants to be somebody, and then he changes his name. That's the best part. It's like Ryan and Ryan.
Oh my God. But Ryan is a
Same
nice
pop.
guy than him. Ryan loves Mr. Popper. You know Mr. Popper, the little dog? He
I
loves
love
Mr.
Mr. Poppers.
Popper. He loves him. And Terry tried to kidnap Mr. Popper. We see it. Terry tried to get Mr. Popper.
Like, oh my God. See, all right, all right, we'll talk about OC in Jersey, but let's talk about, I want to talk about this Anna thing, because that thing blows my mind too. Right?
Like how she got away with it?
I can't believe that she got away with it. Almost got away
and
with
she
it.
did it for years, Krista. That's the thing.
I know. She still has
But you know
years.
the difference of Anna thing and the Tinder swindler and bad vegan? She don't harm people because
That's what I mean. She's amazing. Like, I actually give her credit.
And I'm sorry if she was in the maybe 2 years after the Instagram, it's going off. She can be a star in Instagram. She can be really a star in Instagram. But because she was in not the right part, in the moment.
What do you think about her? Like, I don't think her. She didn't sleep with any. Like, she could have easily married a rich man. You know what I mean? She could have probably
with a rich man. Her boyfriend was very rich.
No, he wasn't. He lost all his freaking money, and he was lying. But I understand. Yeah, in the beginning he was. But like, she could have stayed married. She could have married one of those bankers. I'm sure. You know what I mean? Like,
but I think in some way, if she had 1 year or two, she can make money by herself.
I think that's what she wanted. I think her goal was to beat these people, and I gave her credit for that. But she sold a freaking plane.
Because when I was interested, I don't know if in the trial she see a psychiatrist because she really believed in her life. I don't know she had a mental evolution, but I tried to find it in the files, but I don't find. She never see a psychiatrist. She never see someone because she believed in what she said. She really believed in what she said.
But that's what makes a good pathological liar. You've got to believe what you say, and you've got to keep track of all your lies. And on top of it,
did she really have an idyllic memory? Did she really have an idyllic memory, do you think?
You'd have to have some memory.
Right,
because the best lies are pathological, right? And you think about it, that Tinder swindler, very similar situation. Like, he was basically copying and pasting messages to women and taking all their money to live his lifestyle and fund his lifestyle to get the next woman ready. There's a lot of people like that. And it's what it is you got to have the utmost self-esteem.
For this woman, I'm sorry, but they are stupid. I'm sorry to be tough like that, but they are stupid.
But if you're saying that, right? If they're stupid, then what does that make the bad vegan?
Yeah.
But the bad vegan, the difference, she had some very good talent. People believed in her. Like inventing a life. They had this, in this some way, this four, because I see Anton in this part, they have some charisma. And when you have charisma, when you have this energy to shine, people believe you, people love you,
you have to really have you have to really be good to fool the people that she did Like the quality of like it just. I was like, if I didn't even think it was the same chick of like I heard a story before about another fake socialite. Like I couldn't figure out if this was the same story or not because I didn't know that she had tried to make like an art gallery or whatever. I didn't realize the chick that I was.
It was the same person.
It was the same person? Okay.
Yeah.
Like, cause I was like, holy crap, this chick is crazy. But like, she almost got away with it. But all right, now say, if they would have gave her that money, that would have been okay, right? Because like, say they didn't check her background, say she didn't even have any assets. What would be wrong if they approved her and gave her that 40 million? If they believed in her view, her passion,
Her
or whatever.
vision, yeah.
Maybe she can do it.
That's not
because she
illegal,
had.
correct? Huh? What?
Maybe she can do it. Maybe she can really make.
But that's what I'm saying. What was illegal about that then?
If she make a gallery and she art gallery and she can do it, and if she own it and she make a success, it's possibly she had the good thing after that. Maybe when she has the money, she can, because I think with inventing Anna, when the story get out in the news, in the same moment I see it, in the same time, I see this girl can to do it if she had money, because she doesn't have the money to her dream, and if
Right.
she.
So it wasn't. She wasn't in trouble for that. I mean, they were just saying. So basically, I mean, obviously, she was stealing from like the other people, but like, so that whole her like lying about the application, all that wasn't really illegal, because if they would have just said, "Hey, here's the 40 million," because I mean, I think her view would. I mean, if she would have got that Park Avenue thing, I think unless she's just horrible at business, she had advisor people. I think she probably would have done it because she's that good. But so like, do you think that they would not have, well, yeah, I know that's illegal, but like, do you think that they would have invested in her?
But it's
if
like,
they knew who she really was?
I think it's like is it Elizabeth Holmes? Do you see with the Thanos story? This woman, Elizabeth Holmes, with this Thanos story, when she tried to make a lab home for your blood, it's almost the same story. She tried to convince people with her voice, with her look, but she doesn't have any technology to do what she wants to do.
So you're saying they wouldn't have invested in her because of what? Because that's what I'm saying. Like, they were like, really, she kind of did the right thing, because really what she lied about having a trust fund, correct?
Yeah, that's the main thing she lied about.
But they don't really need that to approve an application, but they preferred it, correct? I guess.
Yeah, well, the way the story is that
they needed
she was a trust fund baby, and she went to apply for the money, and they didn't actually check any of the paperwork for that, and they just assumed that she was right. And because she's international too, I can't. Gabrielle, do you remember what country she's
from? Germany. She said she's from Germany.
She was born in Russia, and then her parents moved to Germany, and her father had a small business. I think they were middle class. I think they were comfortable. I think the thing with her, I think where she fell short was that she kept deceiving people and saying that she had. Oh, sorry about that. My husband's phone is ringing. But if you look at it from a different perspective, you look at banks. Honey, could you please answer that? If you look at banks, they don't really have the money. That's our money.
Right.
It's like playing chess. It's just moving pieces. And so she was very astute as building up some revenue. But in the meantime, she was skipping out on paying the hotels, skipping out on paying people. And I think that was her demise.
But
so she didn't have to do that. Do you think that do you think she would have been able to make that work?
I think she can to do it for me. I think she can to have an art gallery.
I think she would have made it. I think she would have succeeded, because she was working for what was that magazine? The Purple something or other.
Yes.
Yes. So she had inside contacts. I mean, she could have pulled it off. How successful it would have been, I don't know. But they all loved her idea. And
I agree with you, Norma. Like, if she paid the people that she was supposed to pay, she probably could have got away with it a lot longer.
Or just, I mean, gotten that 40 million and turned it into something and been able
Maybe
to.
she can, she can to go to make an young boy or girl to be intern for her with a little salary, and they do all the work for little salary with good ideas, because they think they have the possibility with her to evolve in another world. Maybe that she can to go intern. With intern, you paid them with little peanuts, and they did okay because it's the name of my in my application. It's good. Maybe that.
I mean, isn't it crazy that like they wouldn't approve? It took like, look at all that, like the hypocrisy. Then you have somebody like Tom Girardi who got away with freaking stealing 40 or over $1 billion, right? And people were like complaining to the banks. People are complaining to the bar, and he was just able to do it, steal all this freaking money. But like this girl, like had to literally jump through hoops just to get a loan application approved, just to get it approved. Isn't that crazy? And then like when you got Jen Shaw who's robbing the crap out of people, they can't get their friggin' money back. But then you have like somebody like the Bad Vegan. That guy was able to freaking take a lot of freaking money and barely goes to prison. And like
he had just $6 million. He just had one year, and now he's free.
He's free on time served.
And she got in 4 months in jail for him because I don't know.
But that's the price you paid as well. Like, if you end up in these situations and you don't do your due diligence as someone with money, like it does. I mean, you kind of have to pay for it, even though realistically they didn't actually do anything illegal or wrong.
They really didn't. I think about it, except just a fraud. I mean, that the last, I guess that last haul, the 850, whatever, they just walked down on them. But like, yeah, like all they really did was like defraud their investors, kind of not pay them. And yeah, just like her company was making money. Her business was making money.
And I get people. Sorry, I was just going to quickly say, but people get short times for murdering people as well.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes. Guys, I have my friend with me. She's psychologist. She's bad vegan, and she's with me. She's go to go to bed after that. But she said she see bad vegan everything, and she said about her parents when they're speaking, it's she sees the attitude and comportment of someone she doesn't loved enough when she was kid, and he has an mind emprise in her, and she was it's the reason of everything, because she need love.
What, the Bad Vegan chick?
I listen her, I tell you.
Yeah. See, like I was just shocked that her dad didn't realize that the mom gave away 400. I cannot get over that. 450. How much money do you have that you didn't notice your wife snuck away $450,000? I mean, not all at once, but come on.
I think it's just when you live in those clouds and that privilege, you're not really. I mean, I think people who are really smart will double check, but that just goes to show how easy it is to deceive people. If you walk as if, I mean, I used to, when I was single, I used to see parties all around, Beverly Hills and stuff. And if I was dressed up, I would walk in as if, and nobody would question me. Like, who are you? What are you doing? And I would sneak into parties that you needed invitations
because you are beautiful, Norma.
Like the Housewives of Washington.
You are beautiful. You are beautiful.
Like the Housewives of Washington.
My friend.
You're sweet. You're sweet. I'm not that beautiful, but there is something to be said. Not me, because my friends really, they got away with a lot of things. They were very beautiful back in the day, and looks will get you in. And the appearance of money will get you in. I mean, we don't know. This is just one story that we've heard. We don't know how many other stories are going on that people are being deceived, like that Israeli guy on the dating app. What was the name of that one?
Tinder Swindler. Is that the one?
Tinder Swindler. Yeah, the Tinders. And he's out.
Watch that. What's that? I gotta watch that.
Oh my God!
Swindler is this guy? He said, "Oh, I am millionaire. Please help me because you have some bad guy. Give me money to go. You are billionaire. Why I give you money? It's like this Tinder Swindler. He said he had money. He was from very West family, but he had some secret spies against him. They tried to catch
What?
him. Give me money to help me, and I said, okay,
It's squid? What?
What he would do is he would go on Tinder and he would
On
most
Tinder where you have sex with people, right? Where you just get a
yes.
Okay.
yeah. So he would find a woman and then
Okay.
he would wine her and dine her. So the first time that they go on
Did
a
he
Love
sleep
date,
bombing.
he takes her on a private plane. They go here, they eat in San Francisco, wherever. And
Uh-huh.
so he presents himself as being rich.
Like Dear
Yes.
John.
And then exactly, but he does follow up with it, not like Dear John that lived out in a little camper in the middle of the desert. But then what he does is he starts saying that his father is this millionaire. I forgot the name of the guy, but like a billionaire, and
In
he's from that
Russia
family.
or like that, I don't know. In Russia,
I forgot some investor guy. I forgot what it is, but he's a real person, and he said that's why
Oh,
he would superimpose his picture on this guy's family picture
no.
and say, "This is me. This is my family." And then what he would say is, "Because we're so rich, we are being followed by all these spies.
guys,
So
I-
could you pay for
just
this?"
say I just say one thing, because my friend is from Africa, but the part of Black Africa and me for the North Africa, and we say one thing: any African woman, she goes with this guy. Any African woman, she goes with this guy, because we don't go with this kind of guy. We never go
even
in
like
our
think that
culture. No, I will tell you, any African woman from Africa go with this guy. I will tell you, it's for sure.
like at one
Because
point, but don't people understand at one point, doesn't it sound like bullshit? Like, but I can see like when
I will tell you, it's my friend. She does that, but in some from part of Africa, the woman is like maybe like Erica Jen. We take money. We don't give money. It's like that. We
like
take
I don't
money.
I'm just
I
so
think
like
what it is
I don't
too,
even have to
Krista, is that
what am I doing wrong?
people
Because
like
it's
this, it's an ego thing, right? Like it's about their ego. It's about them as a person. They believe that this is who they are, and that can
But
carry
how
them
do they
so much
how do the
further.
other people
And
how do the
Mocha,
people
other
can
people
be
believe
so
it?
naive and think
Mocha
that
is not
like
just
this is what
naive.
you're getting. No, but
No,
like
it's
for a lot of people, right, it is a bit of
Mhm.
naivety because not everyone has had the same experience in this world. Like I've
oh
been around real shoddy people that like they'll take money, they'll sell stuff, they buy stuff, they'll
Yeah,
hurt people for stuff. Like I've been in that
great,
lifestyle, right?
great.
I know people like that. I didn't grow up in it, but I know people like that. But I have friends who have no understanding of that. It's the same as you can say with people who get picked on for the color of their skin. I can go into a shop and I'll get picked up every time and asked to get my bag searched. I can go with my friend who's also brown, but they'll never
Yeah.
ask her, and it's based on appearance. And like Norma said, when
Wow.
you look a certain way, you
Yeah.
can get so much further than people who don't. And
when
people, it's
It
about
only goes so
believing.
far though. It only goes so far.
when you smell like a West, it's a West. It's this style. When you're on trend, when you go in some place, when you work, it's like your home. People don't go like you. People don't go go to you, because it's like you are very natural in it's in this place. And I think I see what Mocha says, because when you feel maybe shame, maybe some you don't fit in this place, you exile it. You
Yeah.
exile it,
Well, the
and
crazy thing
this
is
why.
they were both willing to work. They both worked really hard. Like, well, and Anna was willing to work and was literally willing to work and
Yeah.
like work, you know what I mean? And so was the other one. So was the bad vegan chick. Like they were
And
both so hard, such hard workers and could have married rich. And they both would choose to
they
like,
could be, but for back vegan, my friend said me something.
they really wanted it.
She said when she see her with her family, with her dad, everything like that, it's maybe she was treated like a baby almost her life, with all this love, all this love bombing around her by her family. And once she go out by herself, she feel very alone, because in some way it's like the ancient time, when you go out of your home, of your family, it's because you are married, and she doesn't be married, and she felt lonely. I think for her
Well,
it's
she
the
was married. She
loneliness.
did get married though.
But she feel lonely in every part in her. When you see her, you
Yeah.
see this
Yeah.
energy of loneliness. I don't
Yeah,
see
she's
if Norma
different.
see it, but I feel this craving of love. I don't
Yeah,
know.
they said her family said she was different, but like I don't know.
She's
I
craving
don't
for love. She's really in. You see this
yeah,
energy around her. She's craving for love. I see it when the first time. She's
yeah.
beautiful, but you see this little girl in her. She's
Oh yeah.
craving.
I think also there's a thing that is called, it's predatory.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you can smell when people who are astute at this, people who play these type of games, are very
Oh
astute at sussing out who. So, like for example, with going back to this Twinders, what is it? Swindlers,
Tinder
I know
swindler.
I'm like
Tinder
you're
swindler. See, he came from a very not rich family back in Israel, and his mother said he always was different, and he always envisioned, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want. I remember when I first moved out here, a friend of mine came from Washington, and she was beautiful. She would not date a man that didn't have money. She would sleep with guys. And when they were in the shower or whatever, she'd go through their checkbooks. If it wasn't the number she wanted, she did manage to marry a very, very wealthy man. And they later divorced, and she was miserable because she filled her, so when you're looking for that special something, um, it doesn't always mean that it's going to come in the form of money. And these women that are on Tinder, these particular women, were looking for something. They did
yeah.
have some savings. And what he would do is like, honey, you saw this money that I spend. You see that I'm rich.
Yeah.
Just loan me $4,000 for this. So what he would do with that $4,000 is he would be wooing another woman.
Right.
So he would just circulate the money. He got caught. He was put in jail. I think he was sentenced for a long time. And then he came out months later. And now he's banking off of that and selling products. And
Oh, see,
Yes,
like
like a
crazy.
Gensha. He does cameo. He does like that, like a Gensha. And
And he's
Jen
still
Shah
on
is-
Tinder.
Oh
yes,
God.
he's good. Oh my
yeah,
god.
Like he wasn't
Do we-
banned from Tinder. That was the other
Okay, so
thing. 'cause-
now
Oh
what
my gosh.
did
My
we
god.
find out why Teresa went to
I think it
hospital?
was appendicitis. I
Oh
think.
really?
I think.
Mm.
I don't know. On a side note about Alec Baldwin, because I know that
Yeah.
Emily D. Baker just really loves to go deep in the
Oh,
weeds.
Yeah.
his story just insane with Alec Baldwin. Oh my gosh.
But this is and I sent you this, but I guess it's not newsworthy. But a friend of mine is in Georgia working on a movie.
Yes.
And the DGA, which is the Directors Guild of America,
Mhm.
saw that the financiers, which are the producers, are the same one from Rust, and they
Oh.
shut down the production.
What?
So my friend is out of work because it's the same people. Yet
Oh my.
Alec Baldwin is on his way, if he's not there already, in Rome to shoot a new movie with his brother.
Yes. Oh my god.
Who's his mom?
It's just insane.
Sorry?
Who's his
Just
mom?
Who's his
Who's
mom?
Yeah, who's his mom?
No, he's with his brother. Did I say
Oh,
mom?
his brother. I was gonna say like his dad's an actor. All the Baldwin brothers.
Yes,
Sorry.
there are four, and there are
His
four
mother's
actors.
dead.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Was she an actress or no?
No.
Was
But
his dad?
I was just a
No.
question. Do you think Samra, if she goes with Alec Baldwin, she can to have a good relation with him?
No. Are you still
Samra?
stuck on this vegan chick getting with him?
Yes, but
It's not going to happen. He's got 7 kids.
Norma, you see when she speak about Alec Baldwin,
Yeah, she
in
would have had a
Las
great
Vegas.
No, she would have had a great life, I think. Well, no, I'm not a great life, but I think she wouldn't have went this route at all because Alec Baldwin's rich, so what would she have to worry about?
What he was sad, what she doesn't try to have a kid by herself, to have someone she loved her.
I think she has Leon.
I have to watch it. She looks, from what I've seen, she's very beautiful and very young. So,
but yes, she's beautiful. But Norma, when you see her, you see this craving of love. You see this. The first time I see the trailer, but when I see the first part of the interview, I see okay. You have this something is calling analyst transactional analysis, and you have this part of you. You have the kids, you have the teen, you have the parents, you have the adults. When I see her, I see the little girl. The first thing I see her, I see a little girl. When you see when she moved, the way she is, the way she speaks, you see a little girl. You don't see a woman. You see a little girl.
I mean, like when he really did a number on her. But wow.
And I am agree with Norma. He smelled her. He find her. He smelled her like a shark smells the blood. He smell her and they say, okay, she is my next prey. Maybe like Louis with Teresa. Maybe we don't know. We don't know.
Wait, what?
Louis with Teresa. I think Louis targeted.
He gave her. I realized I didn't even watch the episode this week, guys. I just watched.
Oh my gosh!
So like this much?
No, okay. I got up to the part where Dolores was packing, so I didn't get that far.
But she was in ER. I see Teresa. She was in hospital.
Yeah,
yes,
she was in
good.
the
I hope she was good. I hope she was good. And Luis had lawsuit for $4 million. I see it.
Wait, what?
Luis, he had lawsuit now.
He does.
And the bankruptcy.
I reckon there's an article around saying that he declared bankruptcy or something like that.
And lawsuit.
Just another story added onto the multitude of stories that have come out.
And lawsuit, so yes.
Talk about red flags. But I stopped watching. The only Real Housewives I'm watching is I'm finishing off OC, but I really lost a taste for the franchise. Just
I know.
You know what? What I found taste with Miami.
Oh yeah, I like Miami. Miami's good, but it was a little different. They seem like real friends, and you got the glamour and you got the fun, but this nastiness, the world has become so toxic that I don't want to spend my hour watching more of people who are being cruel to. I mean, even today, I think it was Kempire wrote something about Yolanda. That came out that she, her daughter, that her daughter Gigi Hadid's, I forgot his name, the baby daddy.
With Zayn Malik.
Yeah,
and
that she lied that he hurt her, and it's coming out now. And so I wrote, I did a comment. I said I like her, but I could see how she could do this. I know firsthand. And somebody wrote back to me and said, "Oh, you like a woman who would do this? That speaks volumes about who you are." And I said, wait. First of all,
what I wrote for me, it's I'd say we need Rizarina because she does it with Dua Lipa and her son Anwar. She makes the story break. Makes the story break.
Oh, she did?
She did, yes. And when you see in Beverly Hills with Gigi and Bella, we see to Gigi. Stop to hate. Stop to do that. Stop to do that. No, stop to do volleyball because you are very big and masculine like that. Everything like that. She always do that. And
she was on the show.
You see one thing, Zayn Malik and Gigi.
Wait, I'm getting confused, guys. You guys are going way too ahead.
It's
Norma, go back
in between.
So
should we let Norma finish what she was saying?
Yeah, let Norma finish because I was following what Norma said, and then
it was basically just saying about toxicity and how people are, and I was just commenting that I used to like Yolanda Hadid, but if she did this, I could see that this could be a true story, that she lied about it, and then I got attacked.
The domestic violence thing.
Mm-hmm.
So then I got attacked on the comment like, oh well, if you like her, it speaks volumes of the kind of person you are. And I just said, listen, please don't pretend to know who I am. And secondly, it was a typo. I meant to say liked, not like. But unlike you, I'm not going to sit here and judge you. And I just left it at that. But people get nasty. People get really, really nasty.
They are nasty in the social media. They are very nasty people.
And with Norma, I agree with her. There's so much negativity in this world, and when you do have downtime, you want to watch something that you actually enjoy. And so when you're not watching that, it it does kind of impact you as a person as well, because you're like, God, this is so horrible. Like, why would I sit here and continue to watch something that's not, it doesn't need to be in the world?
I know. I'm telling you, it was like the rock bottom. I felt like it was the rock bottom of reality television the last 2 years. Like, it started to the point where like I was fast forwarding through like half of everything. Half of 90 Day Fiancé, half of Married at First Sight, half of like literally all the franchises of Housewives. I couldn't get through half of them because I'm like, I was freaking out about Erica every goddamn week. And then like everything, I'm like, it wasn't even fun anymore. That's why I started like finding podcasts where I was like, because I'm screaming at my TV about Jax, and that was about it. But then like, all this stuff started happening, and I was like,
it's why we love MasterChef and Top
huh?
Chef. It's why we love MasterChef and Top Chef, everything like that.
I know, it's like so much, it's such a relief.
It's much fun, and Miami and Rich African.
Even Below Deck was getting me upset because of the stuff with Hannah. I don't like.
And
I don't like.
If I
don't like. I don't like Captain Sandy at all. I think no. I mean, honestly, I think she was an asshole to Hannah, and after that situation where I don't care what you say about maritime law, it didn't kick in just because you found weed and Valium. You waited 2 days to tell Captain Sandy. So she said, oh, well, I found the weed. Well, then I thought, oh, this is too much. Well, it didn't just become illegal because you found 2 drugs. It was illegal when you found the first drug.
The timing was suspect. And Malia, I seem more vindictive. And Sandy loves Malia. So now I have a question for you, Krista. So recently it came out that Erica is now having a spat with Kathy about what she allegedly said in Aspen. What do you think about that?
What about the racist allegations, or
the fact that Erica is calling Kathy out? I mean, I remember she. I mean, at her dinner party with all the baccarat crystal and all the high society stuff, she threatened Sutton in front of everybody. It was incredibly nasty at the table.
Horrible.
And Kathy said nothing. I'm not saying that giving Kathy a pass is okay, but where is Erica to stand on principle when she was so rude in Kathy's home? I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
Her and Rinna need to go. I think she needs to go. Erica needs to go. Erica, first of all, Rinna jumping on the bandwagon and I'll go against Erica. I think that's like her last ditch effort. But like Erica has if we know anything about her now, is her moral compass sucks. And she's got no right to literally judge anybody. Her moral compass sucks. She does not care what we think. She feels like she wasn't charged in court, so who gives a shit if she's morally guilty? But Kathy Hilton, when she came on, I was like, I liked her. I expected a real asshole. I really did. I expected an asshole. I don't like vibe with them ladies anyway, but like, I liked her. I was like, all right, she's like real. She's like real. Like, she's just like not even trying to be anything. I don't think I do not believe that her and Kyle are fighting over the show. Do you believe that Kyle would throw away her friendship with Kathy, or her sister, like anything, her relationship
not
with Kathy?
Not after going so many years without,
Right.
Yes.
They had it in the past, but they did patch it up. And I think, once you make amends, especially realizing how much time they lost, I find it hard. I think a lot of this is just to get people to watch because the ratings went down and it went south quickly last time with the whole Erica thing.
But
about ratings though, do you guys realize that it's viewership is one thing, but a lot of people watch on demand, and I don't think they include that any longer, right? Because it used to be we didn't have on demand, so of course we were having 6.2 million viewers or whatever that number was, and now. But I'm just saying, you can't really go by that any longer because you have streaming.
And I agree with that, Krista, because like you said, streaming.
That's the only reason. I think ratings are down.
You can watch it around the world anytime you want. So when you have an opening night, like it's not always going to be the same amount every time. And I think Norma probably can speak to this since she does work in that industry. She probably has a better idea than any of us how it would really work.
We don't get it in France and in Europe. We don't get it the Real Housewives franchise, because I do to see in website, but not official website, to see all the franchise. We don't get it legally in the streaming, not very legally. But do you think Real Housewives the next season gonna be a success?
Which
Mocha
one?
and Krista? The next season is gonna be a success or not?
Of
what do you
Beverly
think?
Hills?
Yes.
No, I think it's going to be horrible. I think it's going to be one of the worst seasons we have because they should have gotten rid of certain people. They should have brought other people in. Nobody wants to freaking see Renna. Nobody wants to see Erica. Nobody really gives a shit about Dorit. I hate to say that. She's a nice lady like Teddy. It's like,
But she's boring.
She's a nice lady, but she's freaking boring.
It's
and
like a lot of them, the husbands bring more,
Yes.
and PK seems to be the one who's in more of the confrontations than Dorit.
It's just crazy. Like, why are we still doing, like, I just don't understand why we have to have it the whole do you guys think Andy likes Erica? Is that the case? Am I blind to this?
Yes,
Okay.
he does.
Okay. And you think he likes Renna, right? Obviously.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, I do know someone who's very close to her, and I was trying to pry information out of him.
Oh, God, please do.
Norma, are you a spy? Norma, are you a
No,
spy?
no, 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 no. But we're friends. I mean, he and I have known each
Yeah.
other for many years, and he started out acting with Renna and modeling. They were both models, and he had nothing bad to say about her. He would not, could not. And then I looked on Instagram and I see that he follows her and likes all her stuff. But she is just there's no price low enough for her or high enough for her. She'll do anything.
She's a Cancer.
She's the one that says never say never or never say no. She says yes to everything.
But
like, don't you think like she could have, oh God, Renna could have left 2 or 3 seasons ago and been fine, because you know what I mean. Once she went after Denise, I was like, oh my God, you are thirsty. Holy shit!
But
like,
but Denise was very, you see
what?
Denise was hurt really bad, Lisa.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean.
Knows
Like,
her. Like Garcelle, what I see the live of Femme Tarot about the astral team of everyone, and she said Lisa Rinna is a Cancer. She's a Cancer. Her sign is Cancer.
yeah.
Oh, she's Cancerian. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she's Cancerian, and she does what she needs to be alive, to stay alive. And she throw you under the bus to stay alive. And why is the reason Garcelle was so surprised by the attitude of Lisa Rinna and Denise also, because they are really friends of 20 years. She threw a friendship of 20 years under the bus.
Well, that just shows you that's how freaking thirsty she, like, oh God, she's like, oh, Rinna's the most hard. Like, I think that season's going to be so horrible. And I think OC is getting better. I think. I know, guys. I know.
I lost respect for Lisa a long time ago, but the deal was closed when her mother died, and then she started having a lipstick in her mother's honor, and like, oh, buy this lipstick, and it's like, really, the lowest some. I don't know if you got a gift with it, but it doesn't matter. And she threw Yolanda Hadid under the bus, and then wanted her to help her daughters in modeling, and they were anxious enough to do it, but her daughters don't add up. I'm sorry, they're not Hadid girls. They're just not.
I know. Did you see Shannon's reunion picture? Did I send? What the hell? She looks like Jen Armstrong. Didn't she look like Dr. Jen? I almost thought she was Dr. Jen for a second.
Dr. Jen threw Shannon under the bus on Watch What Happens Live.
Yes.
I don't remember the detail, but she was siding with Gina, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Oh yes, that's right. This week, was that this week?
And I don't know what that was, but I will say that Emily lied. And then someone said maybe it was the editing. But if you go back to that episode when they're in New York, Gina was like, you looked unhappy, Emily, when we were doing FaceTime. And Emily goes, yeah, because Shannon was saying that you were jealous. And I was just so curious. That conversation did not happen until they hung up. When Shannon hung up the phone, then she said, whatever. And then Emily goes, are you jealous? And she goes, no, they think I'm jealous. She needs to put a pin in it because I'm not jealous. That conversation happened after they hung up, but Emily gave the impression it happened before.
Yeah. I feel bad for Gina. I'm not Gina. I felt bad for Shannon's a pot stir, but that was wrong. Like Gina's sitting there saying all that stuff to her. It was condescending. It was passive aggressive. It was ignorant. And like, I mean, do you guys think that Shannon's that bad? No.
Do you see the scene when the parent of Gina say, "Oh, Shannon, thank you for the lawyer," because it's Shannon gives the lawyer to Gina when she had the DUI.
Yeah, but I mean, all she did was, I understand that. She called the lawyer and said she wouldn't have to get arrested.
No, maybe she paid it.
No, she didn't pay it.
No,
she just got her out of getting arrested. She didn't get it paid for it. She just got her out of getting arrested. And she thanked her 1,000,000 times. Great. Thank you. Like, I understand she thanked her 1,000,000 times. But like for her, I mean, that was enough. And like, I really don't even think that should even keep coming up. I don't know why they keep bringing it the frig up. Like, okay, great. You do that for your friends.
But I see when Shannon say, "Gina, when you say I'm jealous of you, you say my life it sucks," and Shannon say, "No,
yeah, like
my
that
life
was
doesn't suck. It's why
it was mean.
That was really mean to say that Shannon's life sucks." And I think the biggest thing is like you can say what you need to say to somebody, but you don't have to be cruel about it. And even Gina, like it went back and Gina's like, "I know what I said was cruel." She didn't say mean. She said it was cruel. And if you know that it's cruel, then you know what you said was horrible. And like, I think if anything, Emily's in the mix in this one too much. And that's why it blew up, because they were going so well. And then all of a sudden it's like nitpicking and this is what she said, this is what she said. But we haven't actually seen Shannon and Gina talk to each other about what was said until just now. Yeah.
It just seems so mean. I was like, Gina, shut up. Like, I can't even, like, just, all right. You can say, okay, I understand you're really upset with Shannon, but like to tell her you're jealous of me, you put it, I mean, literally, like your life sucks and, you know, you're never happy. And, you know, she's really the most successful she's ever really been, Shannon. So
why she looks like she's the happiest she's been on the show.
She's happy. She's just trying to maintain these freaking relationships, and they won't let her.
And you know what's the funny? It's when Heather say, "Come to Shannon, come to my podcast to speak about it," and Shannon say, "Oh my gosh, why? Why I come to your podcast? I don't know what you do in your day. Why?" And you see, it's like when we see with Adam, everything like that, it's an infomercial for Heather's decision. She tried to sell her podcast. She tried to sell her TV show with Terry about the couple counseling, everything like that. She tried. I think she stages this attempt to make money and to make her own advertising in the show. It's like that. Why Shannon she go to the podcast of Heather to speak?
Why should she, you said?
No, she doesn't go. She doesn't go. But why?
Why shouldn't she? I think she should.
No, I don't think she should. She doesn't.
Well, I mean, because Heather's she clears a lot of stuff up on her podcast, though. Like, she gets a lot of stuff said. Like, she says a lot of, like, behind-the-scenes stuff so we can understand, like, she went on there, she told the truth about, I mean, I know it is double-sided, actually, to think about it, but you do get, like, the inside scoop on her podcast, like, because Shannon doesn't have a podcast, right? She's probably the only one that doesn't.
Shannon, she tried to make her money with QVC.
Huh?
She tried to make her money with QVC, with her, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, you're right, Krista. Shannon doesn't have
she's like the only one that doesn't, right?
Yeah.
But like, I feel like she just like, I think she should go on Heather's podcast. I don't know. I like Heather. I saw a different side of her, but like, she's the one who's just like trying to be realistic. Like, with like Noella, like like seriously, don't you think like instead of focusing on what the hell Shannon's done, what the hell's Noella done? Noella's done a lot of stuff, but like so I feel like now we're gonna have to get Noella. Like now we're gonna have Noella back, I think, because she kind of like calmed down a little bit, which is very disappointing to me.
I just ask you something, Norma. What do you think about the session of Gina with this exorcist?
That was just, I think that was just silly making. But Mocha made a great point about the exorcism, that they probably did training afterwards.
Yeah, they didn't close it out.
Yeah, because I actually do a lot of that stuff. Like there's only a few people in our little group that know that I do this. It's part of my culture.
Yes.
So I'm really into
I
it,
love
and I've really know how a lot of it's done. But even the way that it was done, like typically when you have Reiki, you usually are laying down
Yeah.
Mhm.
because you're putting your hands over the person's body and you're feeling their energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, when I watched it, I was like, this doesn't look right. And
I
it
agree.
makes what we believe in and what we like, especially a lot of us who believe in spirituality. It makes
Right.
us look nuts when we see it on TV.
I know. I was like, wait a minute. But I thought I thought maybe they just cut that part out. You know, they
And
thought
see,
maybe we wouldn't understand what all the closing of it out and shutting,
and that's the
shutting
most
it down.
important thing of all, though, because and
Right.
what I've said this to Zach, I've said this even to Kempire and to Adam and to Jason. And I'll say this to you too, Krista. And yes, Mocha, I grew up with this. I mean, I'm from Puerto Rico.
Yeah, like you get it.
There's Santeria that comes from Cuba, and
In
we have
Africa too.
Spiritismo. So yeah, the Yoruban. I have my Yoruban goddess that I have in my home. I do work with deities, but the thing about working with anything is that even doing in pagan, in witchcraft, you do a circle where you contain the energy, and they do it in the church. I mean, you go to a Catholic church,
No.
prayer is begun, and then at the very end you close it. And so when they didn't do that, I was a little bit troubled by that. Even if, and that's why I said, well, if the window was open, because Aaron asked me, what about the window? I said, yeah, if it was out the window, that's what got me thinking of window. But it's done very irresponsibly, and
Yes.
and it just is like what Mocha says. It makes people not think right, or think that we're
Yeah.
crazy. But I told him, and I didn't finish my thought. God, my mind goes so many places. Black tourmaline or some kind of protective stone, because when you open your world, your portal,
Yeah.
you're letting energy in and you're letting energy out. So you protect yourself from any unwanted energy. Not everybody that is nice is necessarily has the best of intentions.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So you
But
have to protect yourself, and even afterwards, maybe do a cleansing. I mean, I could probably use doing a little sage every now and again when people leave my house. I
Oh
don't,
God, I do it no matter
And you
what.
got to find the right things for you
but
too, because
you
Norma's
I,
right. The black tourmaline is actually really good for technology, and you place
Mhm.
it in front of
And
in front of your
and
screens
shungite
and
too.
that.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Russian shungite. Yeah,
but you
and what it is,
I have
it's
it
just
behind
about
me.
your
Is that bad?
energy.
no,
Yeah, like
no,
what you've got, like that's good for you, right? Because like
But I
you
mean, it's
feel
it's a
that
behind me.
protection.
that's
but
okay.
even still, it's helping the room
Okay.
because of the size of it,
Okay.
and that's the thing. It's
And the
about the
door's behind me
size.
too. But
Yeah,
so like,
and it's
okay.
and a lot of it's about your openings too. Like Norma said,
Mhm.
for a lot of these traditions and that, you do have to have the home open, but you also got to have it cleansed. And
Right.
even with cleansing, you got to use what works for you. Like sage is quite a masculine
I use
scent.
Palo Santo.
Yeah,
Palo
Palo
Santo.
Yeah,
Santo. Yeah,
Yes, Palo Santo it says much better because
But
we
do I
use
have to have the window? But see, the lady told me I didn't have to have the window open with this.
no, not when you're
no
cleansing.
With sage. I mean, with
no
sage, I do, right, though?
yeah. Well, you wanted somewhere to go. You just want the energy. I've never opened anything using sage, and I've never had a problem. But then
Okay.
somebody told me
because
you
sage
need
is
to do
opening
that.
something.
Now,
Yeah,
have you ever left it burning, like just sitting and burning,
it's
sage
so
or Palo?
strong. I do leave Palo
I
Santo, but it
You
doesn't burn
do?
very long. I use incense sometimes.
Okay.
I never use sage because in my home country sage it's calling to open your home to some energy. It's not. It's to say, oh, welcome to my home, and we use Palo Santo and another plants to burn to make your house like a bunker. And sage is when you have some moon. But what I see with Gina's situation, she doesn't cleanse herself before because in Africa we cleansing before,
Right, exactly.
That was
and
so
after
irresponsible of
we
people, too.
do we do we in the tradition, because I don't do it, but in the tradition, you cleanse you before, you do your thing, your exorcism with people in the same room, but with window closed, and you make the bad energy in one thing, in an object, to be a receiver. And after you closed it and you make a protection around you, very definitively you don't see anything happening to you, because the some way this bad energy is sometimes sending by someone else, and they
Right.
try to protect you. And it's why, because in South America, in Australia, in Africa, we have this same way to see things, but we have difference in the ritual. We some people, they are not, and it's very strange to me to do that, because normally we don't film it, because the energy is can pass by the images.
Mm-hmm.
They said that. It's very strange to me to say it, because Emily was in the same room and she can receive this bad energy
That's
in
what
her
I
too.
thought. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's. I mean, like in Native American culture, you do use sage, and out here in California, there's a thing called white sage, which is
Yes.
Yeah.
what, and they say you shouldn't. I pick it from the mountains, and I leave an offering. I never take anything
Yeah.
without an offering. But um, where I live, I don't know. Have you ever heard of a movie called what was Emily under the pillow? That didn't protect. A pillow's not going to
She
protect
was
it.
laughing, I think.
But
Maybe a cross. Maybe she had
She
a
was
cross
trying not
under
to
the
show that
pillow.
she was laughing.
but have you heard of the movie Poltergeist?
Ah, yes,
Yes.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
where I live right
Oh
now,
gosh.
my home. This area is called Chumash Native. It's for the Chumash,
Oh,
which
the
is a
Native
native.
American Indian.
No,
It's
no, American Indian, and what happened was they shot the movie out here. My house actually is featured in the very first shot. The boys are riding a
I
bicycle.
watched Norma. I gotta look. I'll watch it because I freaking watch that movie a lot.
They ride a bicycle, they go down, and then they go into a cul-de-sac, which is right in front of
Yeah.
my house. But the house is in a different town. It's not in my town. So
oh my
the
gosh.
point is this: when they shot the movie, this area was still under construction. Certain homes were being built,
Yes.
and they put the cemetery on top of a burial ground that was Chumash.
Mm,
Oh
mm.
my gosh.
And if you know the lore about the movie, how people
Yeah,
died,
there's like
Died.
100 people with 6
and,
feet separation with the movie. Yeah.
and in my neighborhood, I've traveled around a lot growing up because my father was in the armed forces, blah 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 blah. But since I've lived here, I have seen nothing but tragedy all around, all around. There's one street where just a kid dies, just wait, the mom tries to wake up her baby and the baby's dead. The husband leaves
It's
the
a
wife.
curse.
You,
It's a
they warn you not to. The people from the tribes will warn you not to build on this land. Like
Right.
they'll say,
Yes.
please do not build on this land. Do not interrupt the curse.
And
Yeah.
Spielberg had, I don't mean to, I'll
Yeah,
wrap it
go
up.
ahead.
Spielberg had them build this thing, because he produced it, he didn't direct it. So I went to a powwow and I met with Chumash natives and I said, I want to make an offering on my land to
Mm,
protect it.
yeah.
And they gave me their tobacco, and I said, I'll buy it. And they go, no, no, it has to be a gift. And so and there's always an exchange. If somebody gives you something, you have,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and it doesn't have to be material like money. It could be a dime.
Good.
It could be some penny. It doesn't have to be, but it has to be an exchange. So even a thank you and blessings is enough. And
Mhm.
my whole house, the whole perimeter is with this tobacco, and I constantly am honoring those that came before me. You have to.
You have
Yeah.
to honor your ancestor.
So there's where I live, it's called Route 55. It goes from, it starts probably like halfway through Jersey and it goes all the way down to the shore. It literally ends at the beach. And it's 55. Well, when they were constructing it, when I was little, it's built on an American Indian burial ground. They warned them not to do it. And as they were building 55, all kinds of tragedies. 2 of the men died. They were hit by a car at the same time. Well, same car. one guy my friend's brother fell into one of the ditches. When they build the construction people have the ditch and they're putting the dirt in, like, they're down. Well, the dirt fell in and killed him.
Wow.
Another guy, his foot went black. Now there's a show called Paranormal Caught on Camera. It's on True TV.
Oh.
There was a guy from my area who was driving home, and my exit is on 55, is exit 55, right? He's going through my town through 55, right? And there's on camera is the lady in white with the black hair. The lady with the white hair.
Wow.
Yes. And she's right near the woods by my house. And I knew about the curse and I knew about all the stuff that was happening, but I'd never heard of anybody ever going out there. He was just driving home from work. We had a camera dash on because he had a truck. He's a truck driver. And he's like, and everything's caught on camera. I was like, holy crap. And then I remember them telling the stories about all the people that I remember growing up. And I was like, that's why all that stuff happened. My dad's like, yeah, they warned them the Indians, they warned them not to, please do not build here. Because it goes down, it goes like all the way through the bottom part of New Jersey. But right in my area, just so many people.
It's why maybe in the USA, if you have some city, in construction under a cemetery, under sacred ground, all this, maybe tragedy in some cities, if they are in the sacred place of these people. Is
there any point where it's okay? Like, can you do something to? I mean, because at some point, everywhere could be. At some point, probably can be that. You know what I mean?
I know for my culture in Australia, it's more of a disrespectful thing, because that's the resting place of these people. This is their last home on earth. But I know there are different things you can do to protect your home. Crystals is one of them. You can actually do a mix of.
But I mean, can you make it right with them though? Like with the ancestors, say, hey, the intent is here. We need to build homes for people that need homes, or people
if that's what people believe in doing, definitely. I know.
I don't know. I'm just saying, I didn't know if they ever came out and said, this is how you make it okay.
I don't think in the Western world, that it's just one of those things that's discussed. Yeah, because it's for a lot of cultured people, this is built into our legacy. We were healers, we were warriors, we were all these different things. So it's been passed down by generations. I know for me, I do a protection for my home. I've started doing a protection where it's just eggshells and a bit of salt, and you use the metal you break it all down and you sprinkle it around the home, and it gives your home protection. In the world we live in now, you can only protect your home and you and your people. And having things like the crystals, the sage, the palo, any of that, it is so helpful for you if that's what you believe in. I'm one of those people. I believe in what I believe in, but I don't want to shove it down people's throats. And if people have questions, I'm more than happy to help and answer. But
I do have some questions. I do.
Yeah, but if you ever have questions, Krista, or you want a reading, hit me up. I'm doing good.
I want a reading.
I want a Akashic Records reading right now, but I'll settle with any kind of reading at this point. I'm on a list with this lady, Debbie Solaris. I don't know if you've seen her on YouTube.
Oh, I see her video because
she's obsessed. She does Akashic readings, and because I believe I'm a starseed, so.
Do you know consciousness evolution?
Yes.
And one Baba Jolie, she does great tarot
I heard her, Baba Jolie. I loved her. She was
and Nicholas Ashbach tomorrow at 9 o'clock. He's really good, but it's 9 o'clock my time, which would be 12 Eastern. One thing I want to write on with what Mocha said about she has the eggshells in the sun. And stuff, we have what's called cascarilla, which is a chalk made from the eggshells. And it's called cascarilla.
Okay.
And it's made from eggshells, so it's like a chalky white powder. This is something that is more European, specifically to English. It's called a witch's bottle. And
I know that. I know this story. A witch's bottle.
The witch's bottle comes back from many, many years in England, and the witches from there and so forth. And what you do, you take a regular jar and you fill it up with old rocks and pointy, broken mirrors, rusty nails, urine, your urine, preferably things of yours, and you bury it in your yard or you put it in your front door. Like I was just seeing somebody on Instagram that they're selling witches bottles, but it doesn't have that. It could have vinegar in it. But if you
See, I
Google
wouldn't trust it. I wouldn't trust it.
witches
that-
bottles, is they've used it for, it's been around for over 800 years.
I would make my own though. Wouldn't you rather make your own?
No, I wouldn't trust somebody else's.
Right. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Absolutely. And I've been working with candle magic for decades, and sometimes people make candles, but I like to work with.
Isn't
with
this crazy? Like how we all end up finding each other. Like up until just recently, there was nobody in my life that was was aware or had to wake up to like the awareness. Nobody was aware of anything. Like, and I couldn't talk about it and like about being a starseed. Like, and it just seems like now we all seem to like have found each other, because I do believe, I don't know if you guys believe, that we are moving, that we're like really accelerating into 5D, whether it's our personal universe, like if we're personally like our personal journey, like whether some of us are already there or not. But like, I feel like that's the reason we're all finding each other too, because whether we're starseeds or we're, or wanderers or whatever, but like I'm meeting, like every day I meet 4 or 5 new people that are spiritual, you know what I mean, and believe in all that, or just literally are just starting out, like that lady, Debbie Solaris. She's like, I didn't wake up till I was 50, and now she knows their galactic history.
What's your name? Debbie Solaris?
Debbie Solaris.
On YouTube?
Yes,
she's on YouTube. She does have a website. She was on Gaia a lot. She was on a couple of things on Gaia. She learned from Dolores Cannon.
Oh, yes.
Dolores Cannon. I see her
She's wonderful.
conference.
Yeah, Debbie, she's my teacher. I love her.
Because like I started, like my gift's been around since I was born, so I've always had it. I had a lot of life experience that got in the way of me pursuing it. I don't know if a lot of you know, but I'm only like 32. And in the last 4 or 5 months, I've really put my whole self into learning about all of this. Elaine's the first person that
so awesome.
I was like, that I connected with, and we got to do and talk about a lot of this stuff, and she lets me practice on her. So it's been
you
really
do Reiki?
good.
You do Reiki?
Yeah, I can do Reiki, I can do tarot, I can scribe. I know how to get how to do people's charts. Like
I do my
everything
charts.
came and hit me at once. So like I learned how to do everything really quickly, really fast. But I'm also one of those people, as annoying as it is, I'm actually really good at everything I touch. So
I'm like,
it doesn't take me long to pick things up.
Krista, I recommend you to see Femme Tarot, because Mocha and me, we see very often Femme Tarot. She does the astral team for all the housewives.
I know, but see, I don't like. No, I don't have anything against her. I'm not really interested in the housewives tarot cards. I'm really not. I could care less.
She does the astral team, and
I think she's good at it, but like I could care less about their cards. Like I'm more interested in mine and like my friend, like everybody else. You know what I mean?
But it's a personal journey, and for some people, you really lean into it, and there is something that has been happening in the spiritual world, which is an awakening. And everyone's starting to come into that. You can have more than one awakening in a lifetime, really. But I think it's all dependent on who we are as people and what stages we are in life. And like, I know for people of color, that for a lot of us, it's just innate. Like it's built within us. We're just raised in this. And I think Norma can agree. Like that's just how it is. Like
everybody but us. Everybody but the Catholic. I mean, I believe everybody. Everybody is other religion. I mean, honestly, Catholic was the only religion I realized that had a hell and believed didn't really talk about the afterlife or talk about reincarnation. Like it's everybody. I mean, with the core of it is with spirituality is we all believe the same thing. We all believe afterlife, reincarnation, and the universal laws, basically.
I think, Krista, it's maybe, the Occidental world, because I think with the modernization, with the world, everything like that, there are maybe a cutting with the spiritual, link of the nature. And in Africa, you go in Africa, people, they are very, modern, but they never forget the roots of everything.
It's crazy because we were conditioned to forget everything. Like up until I was 5 years old, I remember seeing spirit, and then after that, it stopped. And I was even obsessed with UFOs, and it never dawned on me. For 25 years, I forgot.
But
my
but
God.
you-
Oh my
but you
God.
know-
Same. Wow.
Isn't that crazy? Like you remember being spirit, like, and I was like, okay. And then it just went away, and I never thought about it until a couple of years, until I guess, I don't even know. I guess looking back now, I remember, I can see when the awakening started, probably 20 years ago now, I think, with my addiction.
because
Like it was beginning of the process of me being aware of it.
because I will tell you from my part, the African country, when I was born, when I was grow, and the other country I go near to my home country, we lived with our ancestor. We live with the story of your bloodline. We live all this, spirituality around us. We don't forget it, because it's with us. We don't forget
Well,
the spirit
not our
of the
fault.
jungle. We don't. No, it's a cult, because you have the religion people. You have Catholic, you have Muslim, but they have the religion, but they don't forget the roots of everything. Because you know what?
No, it's called the esoteric effect. They actually do make us forget. They're called chemtrails, and
but
Oh,
I think
yeah.
one thing.
they actually do want you to forget. They call the false matrix. They actually did make us
But
forget.
we
But
don't.
we've all moved up where we're forgetting all.
Because
we're
for
losing
me, I
spirit.
never forget what I had, some legacy in my home, my family, in my blood. We don't forget. Really, we don't forget. But when you go, you see people. We never forget to think about your ancestry. Never.
Well, we were taught. Well, I guess my parents and my grandparents, they all were conditioned that they were all raised Catholic. They were all conditioned that you don't ask any questions. Yeah, you read the Bible, but they took stuff. It's just what I know now. Thank God I know what I know now. But like, it's just sad. I feel sad that my grandparents, like, they passed away believing that bullshit. Yeah. Believing that church and state taught us what, like, it amazes me that kids are still in school these days. Like, I feel like, take your kids out of school. What are you people doing? They're teaching them the wrong thing.
It's all homogenized.
It's crazy. I'm just glad that I believe we're moving back into a type 1 civilization.
Can I address something that Tess was saying for 1 second?
Yes, please do, because I couldn't figure out how to do that.
I understand that fear. I too was raised in Catholicism, which has a lot of symbolisms. It has your incense, it has your lighting candles, it has your prayers. What a lot of people are not aware of is that what they call paganism, all of this stuff was before Christianity. So people would follow the movements of the stars. For many years, I was a storyteller. I belonged to a company that did storytelling, and we did creation myths. And we can get stories from Africa. We can get stories from South America. We could get all of them, Greece, Rome. The creation myths are very, very similar.
Yes.
And if you follow, and not to get too woo-woo on you, but if you follow the wheel of the year in I don't want to say Wiccan, but in witchcraft, let's just use that word.
Yeah.
It is the same as the holidays because when they were trying to convert the pagans to religion, they had to appease them, just like in Cuba and so forth. When the Africans came, they wanted them to become Catholic, so they gave them Catholic names. For example, Chango is Saint Barbara, and so on and so forth. The saints, the Catholic saints, all have an African counterpart, and the Africans use that to protect themselves so they could continue their religion. That being said, it was a matriarchal society, and women were midwives, and women were landowners, and this patriarchal thing about men being ahead and this and that, and the religion and the Inquisition, all of that, it demolished it. So when you think of, for example, if you look, there's even studies that Jesus was actually born in the summer, because
Yeah.
that's when the northern star is. But Yule is right at the time of the winter solstice, when the light is beginning to come. The sun is coming. So it's the sun, the birth. And so if you start following all that, you're going to see that it's all very much the same thing with
Yeah.
just different words. And there's nothing to fear, because that's how the Catholicism is. It's fear based.
Fear-based, right.
Spirituality has really nothing to do with religion. It has nothing. It's just
Exactly.
being in touch with your soul, with yourself, and with
The
higher
truth.
vibration.
Yes.
It's all higher.
Where we came from, where we're going, why we're here. The whole, and it's like people think the aliens, they're like these evil beings, but they're closer to the source than we are. They literally are us. They have all their abilities. We are born with the same abilities, but they had us conditioned to forget. Now, whether you want to call it like our country did this to us, or if you want to go back 12,500 years and you want to like the Draco, if they did it to us. However, thank God we're getting out of that we're finally at the end of that. And I think like
I
we're
will just say one thing. I recommended you the TV show, American Gods. I don't know if you say it.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you have the one of African, real truth African God is calling Kompe Anansi. He is God in Africa. You have a cult around him, and I see it's very interesting to see that, because I recommend on you, Krista, to see American Gods, a TV show, and you see some roots of what you say. And I will tell one thing, Norma. One of my friends, in French, is in archaeologue from Peru. He explained me the Vieja Negra. The Vieja Negra. It's a figure of the god Quetzalcoatl in South America. You have the cult of the Vieja Negra. It's in reality the cult of the god Quetzalcoatl, and I think it's very interesting. But the same way the paganism is coming back in the Catholicism in different way. It's coming back.
Well, I watched Mystery Teachings on Gaia. I learned all about that. That was the like piece of my puzzle, was to learn the galactic history and the history of us. And I went through Mystery Teachings and Wisdom Teachings with
really, it's very interesting.
Yeah, I find, I don't know. I'll watch it. I just have a hard time with like this.
I think it just comes down to personal preference too.
Yeah.
You figure out what you like and what works for you, and you go from there, because there's so much in
I just wanted
this world of spiritualism.
Yeah.
And you can go either way, and everyone's different. Like, I know for me, I dig more deeper into my Indigenous heritage, and that's where I find my comfort and my power for what I do and for helping other people in this world. Like I said, my gifts, I've had them since I was a child. I was very scared of them as a kid,
Yeah.
You hear people walking around the house, you get up and nobody's walking around. That's pretty scary.
Well, you just think everybody that everybody does it. Like everybody sees it.
Yeah.
everybody's there. Like everybody
and it's
sees
only as I've gotten older that I've understood myself more and people around me, and why I try to put so much positivity into this world. Like Norma said, there's so much horror on a daily basis, and it's getting worse. And I know for me, I don't want to live like that. So my solution is to try and put positivity into that. And like, I even messaged Norma when I realized who she was, and I thanked her for a show that she had a major part in, because that show literally saved my life in one of the hardest times of my life. And
Is it the Whisper? What was it called? What's it called? The Ghost Whisperer, right? That one, or a medium one?
Norma actually was a part of Jane the Virgin.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Jane.
And I love that. Like, I would watch that religiously. I can rewatch it 1,000 times over. And
Jane the Virgin, I love
it. Really did save my life, because I was in a place where I didn't believe in love or being loved anymore because of my situation with my ex-husband. Yes. And watching that made me feel like a little girl again, and that love is one of those things that's unconditional, and you can still believe in that, in love, and the institution of marriage even if it doesn't work out the first time. And like I've watched a lot of Norma's stuff growing up, so it was even more. And I'm a TV person, like I'm a fanatic.
Norma,
Like,
who are you?
if
I'm
you check
Norma.
Norma's
She's an
IMDb,
actress.
like she has done so
I
many
don't know.
things, and you will be
I'm gonna
shocked
have to like
because you're
stalk
like,
you now.
oh my god, yes, I
She
remember
had
seeing
so
that.
much show. It's Joe, tell me, but
Well,
she has
now that I know that both of you are into this stuff, now I can like ask you guys questions.
Yeah,
because
harass me anytime, Krista.
Mocha,
seriously,
you're
because
making
I
me
was
cry here.
seriously because like I love you guys, and like the fact that you guys did never met until just on like and so
Yeah,
like
through
through
Adam
YouTube, and then
Jason.
you watched her stuff growing up. See, like we all meet for a reason. See,
Yeah, see, if you were out here and the show was still on, I would bring you. I have a friend whose husband died, and her teenage daughter was having a hard night one night, and we're sitting around, and she starts saying Rogelio, who's a character on the show.
Yeah.
So I said, you like Rogelio? And she's like, yeah. So I talked with Jaime Camil, who's the actor, and I said, we got to get this girl on set. She was treated like a queen. She came on set, was sat in the best seat, and right now, oh my God, the guy who played the boyfriend, the one that Jane
yes,
helped
I know who
me.
you're talking about. He's in Teen Wolf.
He played he played the it was between Michael and it's just been so long.
The hotel, like
the guy who owns it, the cute guy.
Oh,
He is what you see. He is the kindest,
Justin
most
Baldoni.
Justin, that's it. Thank you.
He had show, podcast, everything like that.
Oh my God, what a beautiful human being. The whole show was a great experience. It was made, so I'm glad that it helped you, because it was made with love and so on.
And I felt that when I was watching it, like that was the most beautiful thing.
Yeah, everybody was amazing and the cast and crew we were one big fat family. Did you ever see The Fosters?
Yeah, I love The Fosters because
I was the principal
the main
in the first
young
season.
woman in it was
You were?
Australian.
Oh yeah, Maya. I love Maya.
Yeah, I used to watch her stuff when it was here. So sorry,
you work with Trevor Noah. I love
now. I have to watch the first season again because I'm freaking obsessed with that show, and I'm so upset that it's over. And you were the principal in the first one?
In the first season, and then I found out, not in the best way, that they were going to replace me.
Okay.
But they replaced me with a friend of mine because they wanted.
Are you friends with that lady, the curly hair lady, or no?
Sherry, yeah, Sherry.
Yes.
So super sweet. But what happened, and Terry Polo, what happened was they wanted her character to have a relationship with the principal because
right.
So they had me go somewhere. I don't know where they sent my character, and they brought in Annika, who played the principal after me. She was
Norma. Seriously, who are you? You and Joe Mendoza, because I can't reveal who he really is. But
oh, really?
like, because when we get to Florida, when we get to New York, I'm like, it's not fair because you guys know what we look like, but we don't know what you look like. We don't know what Joe looks like.
Oh, I look like this. That's just
I was gonna say
it's weird now. I remember I jumped on Anchor Watch. I'm like, who are you people? And what did you do with my friends?
You saw me the other day when I came on with just no makeup and everything. I'm like, I'm naked. But I was going to say something about, the other day, I'm going on a tangent because my brain works that way.
That's how mine is. I'm sorry.
If you ever come to California, you were talking about special vortexes and stuff. There is a place.
I want to go to a portal. I want to find a natural made portal.
In Joshua Tree, there is a place in Joshua Tree where it's very magnetic portals. And look up this place, Integratron.
Hold
on, I got to write that under the Jane thing. What's it?
I just want to say one thing. When I first heard Mocha and Norma, I fell in love of your voice, girls.
Oh, thank you.
Because when I heard you two, I feel the feminine goddess in your voice, because I feel that. And Krista, I feel your hurt. Krista. I feel your calmness and your love. And when I heard you, and Norma, I hope you make a nap like a calm, and you make a story to go to sleep, with your voice, just like a nap, like a cat, because you have this, when I'm thinking of you two, Mocha and Norma, I see this very goddess with love, with this
Oh, thank you.
femininity in my mind. I don't know you, Mocha. I don't know your face, but I see that in my mind. It's why.
Mocha's
And
beautiful.
and
Thank
Krista,
you.
I
Never
see
seen
the
her.
energy
Yeah.
of the spring. When I heard you, Krista, the first time, I see the energy of the spring. The spring, when you have everything in life, it's coming after the winter. I see that.
I need it.
Like
No,
when I
it's
first
real.
heard
It's
Krista,
real.
like I
Mhm.
knew she was a sweetheart and she was so genuine.
I
And
try.
like, no, seriously, Krista, you're such a genuine human being.
Yes.
And I think some people have taken advantage of that.
Mhm.
And it's horrible to see that, because like you are one of those people who love hard, and you love with your heart on your sleeve.
Oh.
And like that's one thing I did notice about you when I first started watching Up and Adam and all of them. And there's just something about you that is so bright.
I'm a
And I think
starseed.
sometimes you don't actually notice that,
I
but
don't.
you're such a beacon. So like,
The
and I think
spring,
you're right. Everyone,
she's
we're
the
amazing
spring.
people who've managed to find each other
Great.
and create our own little community of like friendship
I mean,
here.
seriously, who else can talk about this? Like, there's nobody else really now. There's one or two people I can talk about this stuff with, and now it's like I just met two more people that understand exactly what I'm saying, and don't look at me like I'm crazy.
Like attracts like, and what
Yeah,
happened in the
we put it out
Integra,
into the universe, and we got it back.
there was
Yes.
a scientist in Joshua Tree. It's right outside of Joshua Tree, and he built this dome
Oh, I want to go there.
to communicate, because it's in a magnetic vortex.
Ugh,
The night before, and this is all you could read up about it. The night
Yeah.
before he was going to exhibit it, he died mysteriously, and all the studies that he had were eradicated. Two women from New York came, like, and it stayed open. They opened it, and they do sound baths there. Now
Oh,
it's become highly commercialized, but these two New York ladies came. They had a calling. They bought it. But if you come on, Sedona is
that's
friggin-
where I want to go, because I want to do I wanted to do a C5 contact. I did one over streaming with Stephen Greer, like his group, but I want to do an actual one in his presence, the C5 contact, which is, initiation, contact by initiation. But he does a lot of it in Sedona. And I mean, I have my telescope and everything. Like, I've done my own contacts, but like he's been doing it for 37 years. And all of his group they go into deep meditation. And they have, I mean, he's got over 200 videos of just, he had like mantis beings come. There's a picture of a mantis being, and he's like, you could see like healing hands. I'm gonna start crying. Oh my God. It's like he's on Gaia, but he's on Disclosure 1. He talks about it. And oh my God. But like he does, because he's so popular now, the government tried to kill him 3 times. They killed his entire team. They all got cancer, except he got it too, but he didn't die. I guess they saved him.
What do you know about Nikola Tesla?
Oh,
I think that Elon Musk is Nikola Tesla reincarnated. Don't you think?
I think Elon Musk is not Nikola Tesla. I think Elon Musk, it's a bad aspect of Nikola Tesla.
No, because I think he's doing the same thing that Nikola Tesla was doing.
Well, if
he's
New
doing
York,
it, privatizing it.
Let's go to the New Yorker when you come to New York.
Yeah,
that's where he died, and we'll go up to the hotel.
Yes, let's see if we can get him.
I had just one question for 3 of you. What do you think with the changing of the polarization of the 2 poles, the north and south, with the magnetism is changed? The magnetic energy of the north go to the south, and the magnetic energy for the south go to the north. They are inverted.
It's part of the new Earth, I believe. It's part of our evolution. I think it's part of Earth's evolution. It's a tilting of the Earth. Instead of she reincarnated, but instead of having to go like a full reincarnation, I think instead of tilting a certain way, I thought something about the opposite. They're supposed to like opposite, right? Like the polar, we're supposed to completely shift.
Yes, they're changing the place.
Yeah, we're gonna, but
place.
that's
The
gonna take
energy.
us completely out of 3D. Well, no, are we gonna still be in 3D or something 5D, but we can still manifest like actual, an actual like multiverse, like an actual like objects. Well, like it'll appear to be 3D, I guess, but we'll have all the abilities of like 5D when that shift happens, when it goes in complete shift. That's what I've heard. That's my understanding of it. I should say my understanding of it.
And all this moon very, very, highly powerful in the 1 year. You have this, the moon of the Virgo, the moon of the Taurus, the red moon, so much moon, very powerful. I don't understand why.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
very.
our moon, I have a problem with, but I believe in the other moons because I don't believe our moon's real. But my perception, my understanding is that it's not, that it was man-made, but it's here for a purpose. It does its purpose with the Earth's access, but I don't like what they've done to our moon. But what was I going to say too? What else were we talking about?
We're speaking about Erika Jane.
Wasn't I? Yeah, they need to, like, honestly. Okay, no, and I believe you know who Edgar Casey is, right?
Yes.
I believe. Well, I think David Wilcox is. I think he's Edgar Casey reincarnated. He believes I think he did get a past life, and I think he is. They even look exactly alike, because he's just doing the same work he did. And
Wow.
I think Elon Musk is doing the same work as Nikola Tesla. Well, a lot of them do that, or they do like that walk-in, where they're like the walk-ins, basically. They walk in, their souls walk in, they have a thing with them. And Nostradamus, there's a guy who actually channels. Does he channel Nostradamus, or he studies him really well, but he looks just like him. I believe he's him reincarnated. He does the visions and everything. He looks just like him too, but I believe he's him reincarnated. But a lot of them, like, it's just, yeah.
But
I mean, honestly, if they get their Akashic records read and they do past life regression, it's not, the subconscious doesn't lie. So I'm pretty sure he wouldn't say that if it wasn't true,
I'm sorry. I think it's not very popular opinion, but I don't have a good energy from Elon Musk. When I see him, I don't see someone he can care about the people. He doesn't care about the people.
He can only do so much when you have our freaking government, man.
No,
but thank God he has enough money to override them. Yes, he's doing what he can. Look, I mean, he's not like, he's not saving the planet that we know of. He's trying to eliminate fossil fuels.
Yes, but
we already have, but he's trying to show us. So wait, so he sends people into space, right? Or whoever the guy that sends people into space. Literally, do you really believe they're going up there and they're using fossil fuels on a rocket? No. Because once they get into space, they're going to see everything that they're not supposed to see. And they're going to, do you think it's making me nuts that they're like sitting there sending all these people into space and appearing to use fossil fuels when we know that we've eliminated them a long time ago. So do you think they're really going up in portals and they're like, and the people that are paying Elon or whoever it is they're paying to go up into space, Elon Musk or his reincarnated, whoever he is, do you think they know ahead of time that they've been vetted, or because they're rich and famous, they already know about the disclosure? Do you think they're like, okay, well, now you're going to see the aliens. We're going to drop you off on Planet X or wherever. Like, do you think they're going into the space and just like dropping them off on a planet, like leaving us all here?
I don't know, because I'm a very big reader of Philip K. Dick and Isaac Asimov, and I love science. And I say one thing: when I see Elon Musk, I don't see someone who is doing this thing to the humanity. He's doing this thing he has, the hubris and the ego to the knowledge, like Prometheus.
I wonder if he was bought. I wonder if the government bought him.
I think it's because I'm very big reader from SF. I read Ursula Le Guin, Margaret Atwood, Philip K. Dick, Isaac Asimov. I love science, and one of my old friend, it's very big astrophysician. We speak together very much about that. It's hard, but he's very good. And I think.
Do you think he's part of the elite then?
What can I say? With my knowledge about the humanity and what I see of Elon Musk, I'll say one thing.
Well, he
You
kind
have,
of just said, "Here, take it." I don't get. He's like, "Fuck." He's like, "Screw you guys." Like, I already did my
he loves
part. Like,
money. He can to do everything like that.
you can only do so much.
But you have people with the same amount of money. They try to change the world around her or around them. We have so much woman. You don't see any woman around him in this team. You don't see like that. You don't see. I don't see him. One
But he has a
something.
wife. He has a wife.
Yes, he
I
has
get.
wife, but I see in this team of the job. I don't think that, but I think
No.
it's the face of in the humanity of the kindness of the humanity. He don't have a faith in the kindness of humanity.
Yeah.
He don't have a faith. He want to have the knowledge. It's
I mean,
different from me.
he's literally Nikola Tesla, like
I don't, but
reincarnated. I mean, honestly, like how much better can you get than that? He's doing
yes,
as
but
much as he
Nikola
can with his
Tesla,
money.
when you read what he's writing and you read what the people say about him, he had some part of faith
What?
of
Because they thought he was
humanity.
weird.
No, I
Because
don't
he,
think he's no. He had Nikola Tesla had faith in the humanity. He want to do thing to help the world. I don't
yeah.
see. Oh, here's a baby, and I don't see that with Elon Musk. It's just that it's the way he does the thing.
I just wonder if the government bought him too, because if not, what's the alternative? Killing him? I mean, he bypassed all them, so it's like the alternative. Either he works with them, or he just doesn't care what they think, or we've eliminated the elite, so it doesn't even matter, or he is part of the elite. I guess we'll find out. But you know what? I shouldn't be focused. I gotta stop focused on that, because when I start focusing on that, I know I'm like putting it out into the universe. I gotta stop focusing on the government.
We can go
hating on them.
I say one thing. Do you think Erika Jen had a good season in the next season of Real Housewives?
She's gonna stay on the old earth. She's screwed. So is Jen Shah.
And Zarina, how much season she can stay? Do you think 2, 3 seasons?
That's so horrible to me to say that, isn't it?
No.
But I mean, honestly, like her, do you think there's time for her soul to evolve? Like, I mean, she could be a good person for all we know. I mean,
sometimes that kind of person or that kind of thing tests us as where we lie with our own values, you know?
Yeah, that's true. She could have. So, all right. So, do you think people come in here as the bad person, right? So we evolve.
As the apparent, I mean, the thing. Okay, one thing that I learned as an actress is that when you're doing a character, they could be a mass murderer, but you have to justify that. And so, in her head, she doesn't really see that. She sees herself as someone who sacrificed marrying an older man, taking care of him, doing his bidding, being pretty by his arm, and then him giving her the dream career she couldn't get on her own. And now it's been taken away from her and she doesn't want to give it up. So in her mind, she justifies her actions. But in our view, and how they also skew it on TV, in our view, we look at it differently. We go, okay, those are not my values. I would never do that. And so that is kind of like a lesson, because if everybody was perfect, then you know, there's
we wouldn't know what to do. We wouldn't know what not to do.
I mean, and they were talking about the new Housewives, the Real Housewives of New York, that they're going to do 2 shows. And
oh my God, what is this? Yeah, tell me about this.
And Ramona's not going to do it. She's just a waste of her time.
Yeah.
And why does she have a choice?
She met someone, and Zach makes the statement in Reddit. She met a guy and said, "I don't need the money of
Screw that. Reverse. I don't care about who she met.
See, this is the thing that people, I don't know, this is how I see it, because I work in scripted television. I actually, reality TV is my enemy, because they take away work from actors. I mean, they become instant celebrities and they take up space. It's like being on the freeway. But these women allegedly are all rich. So what does it matter? They're just, what they're using the show for is a platform to sell their products.
But nobody wants her on the show. She's a fucking racist.
But you know what? She does real estate. I mean, she was selling jewelry. What was it called? That wasn't True Religion. But when she first started, she had a jewelry line that did very well. And so they use this as a platform, marketing tool. But do they really need all the money that they're, you know, the millions of dollars? No.
But
They
Off
don't.
with her head, like we did with Kelly Dodd. Seriously, off with her head. We gotta go. We gotta go. Are they really seriously? Just tell me the truth. Are they really considering bringing her back?
yes.
Jesus Christ!
I would assume.
But I don't think she's not coming back.
Well, I don't think she needs a freaking. I don't think she should have a goddamn choice. Honestly,
But they said really very freshly they don't take anyone for the old franchise.
wait.
They
Why
don't
doesn't she still? Why doesn't she want to come back? What's her freaking problem?
Because she said she has had enough and she has money. She had no time to do that.
That's bullshit. She's
I will send you the.
She's a freaking liar.
I will try to find the thing. I will tell you now. It's in the Zach. He make that. I will to see that. And
I can't friggin' believe. So wait, so they're going to do a young one and an old one? Is that what's going on here?
One is called Legacy, which are the old players, and Jill Zarian is trying to get in. They haven't. They said that she's too difficult to work with, and then they're going to do a young group of women from New York, and maybe Ebony's friends. But the thing is this: that show, the whole franchise was an offshoot from a TV show, which I worked on, called Desperate Housewives.
Norma, who are you?
And then
I
did one episode. I only did one episode.
I had the statement of Ramona.
Did you ever see? Did you ever see Mad Men?
Yes.
I see Mad Men.
I did one episode. They were supposed to bring me on for many episodes.
But
I was only on one, and I worked with John Hamm. And when we wrapped, he kissed me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I had the statement of Ramona. I will read you. I don't think. Okay, so it's in Reddit. So I met Ramona last night on the US. Got selfie with her. She looked incredible. But I said I'm so excited for the new season spin-off, and she goes word for word. I don't think I'm coming back. I don't want to. And the guy say, "Oh, I go. Why?" She goes, "Sweetie, I need a life." Lol, she was incredible, and when I ask her for a selfie, she picks her like 5 times before posing.
She thinks that she is the goddamn freaking number one guy in the whole entire thing. Besides Vicky, she's nuts. She's a liar. They probably don't really. She knows that we don't want her back, so she's going to act like she doesn't want to come back. Just
but
like when the
Ramona always thought she was bigger than Vicky as well.
We'll start a podcast and be like, "Oh, you guys suck now." Like it's teasing the pot now. Oh, people on the Housewives are losers. Blah blah blah. I would never go back on that show. Blah blah blah. I hate you. You're all stupid now. But you're just jealous because you're not on anymore, Vicky. Fetch, Tamara. So you're gonna act like you don't want to be there, Ramona, because we don't fucking want you. So bye, bitch. Go.
But guys, I love the podcast of Tamara.
God, I'm so mad at her right now.
And with Teddy and
fucking Andy, man. Sorry, guys.
I love the podcast with Tamara and Teddy, and you know what? I find Teddy very funny in the podcast. I'm sorry, it's not good, but I find
it's not good at all. Sorry,
but I find Teddy funny.
You think I would get nicer the more pot I smoke, but I get more.
They are very funny. You have them together. I love that.
No, I just think this fucking bitch triggers me, man. Why is she coming? Like, we're not going to watch it, right? How many more people can they screw in New York? Like, really? How much more drunk can they get? I feel bad for Sonia because she just wants to be on anything.
I love Sonia.
She would be better hanging out with Leah. I swear to God, she would. She'd be better off because
she's friend with Ebony. Sonia is friend now with.
But seriously,
Ebony.
Yes, because the other ones pick on her, like Luann.
Yes, but she was after that. They said she's friend with Ebony. But I love Sonia. Sonia, she's
awesome. But I just think that her well-being is at stake, and if she hangs out with the other ones on the other show, if she's on the older show, they're going to freaking destroy her again because they freaking pick on her. And they're
sure that they said. Well, bits I'd seen was that the new one they're hoping to kind of base it around Ebony and her.
The young one. Yeah. I hope so.
Like the newer version, which if that's the case, that means more diversity, hopefully.
Hopefully, and a part of town that's realistic.
Yeah, and that could be something different for all of us. And I think that's the biggest thing with most of us, isn't it? That we want to see more realistic lives again, and we want to see real people
in New York
doing real stuff and see the actual parts of New York that makes New York. Like
I
New York
mean,
isn't
that is
just like
not
one
representative of New York
place.
I know of. I mean,
Yeah.
It's what I said about, you
it's
know,
one part, one district.
I do the Campire live last time, and I say Andy Cohen know Anderson Cooper. He knows Sarah Jessica Parker. They are the Anderson Cooper is a Vanderbilt. He know everybody in New York. Okay, he is the noblesse, the aristocracy of New York. He doesn't find any woman, black, French, Punjabi, Indian, Mexican in New York from the very wealthy family. He doesn't find anyone in New York because New York is like Miami. You have this multicultural, you know, pop people. You don't have any French woman with wealthy American men in New York to go to the housewife.
They do, but they got rid of her, and I think they need to bring her back. Alex McCord.
She's not French, Alex McCord.
Well, he's French, right?
No, he's not French.
Neither one of them are French.
No, they are not French.
But
Oh
they
my
live in
gosh.
France. Didn't
No,
they live
they
in
are not
France?
from France. They're
She's
from UK.
Australian and she's American.
Why do I
Yes,
think
they are
they're
not French.
French?
I'm sorry.
Because
She doesn't-
her kid's name is Francois and she speaks horrible French.
Okay,
No,
that's
she's
fine.
not French. Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I think maybe because they want to get naked all the time. I don't know.
It's Norma. It's not you. You said the Luan. She has a fake French.
She speaks French, but it's not, you know, she acts as if it's.
Did they live there, or am I just like thinking? I don't know what I'm thinking.
No, I'm
She-
pretty sure
she-
Luann lived over there for a while.
She lived in Italy, I believe. She was
She speak
modeling.
Italian.
She was a
Really?
nurse, and then she started
Yeah.
modeling, and then she married the count.
She make a
was-
TV show in Italy.
Yes, and she was on a TV show, and she had an.
He was?
Yes, in Italy.
Yes, she was a model and all this stuff, and then she had a boyfriend who was, I think he was Italian. I don't remember, but he was either French or Italian, and he was on holiday or he was on a business trip, and she went to a party where she saw the count. She was engaged, I think, to this guy, and when the count came back, she had already moved all of her stuff and moved in. With the count, yeah. When the guy came back, she dropped the guy and moved in. So I don't trust her. Like when she went after Carol for dating the Adam, the chef, she's like, oh, he dated my niece. She was the same person who, when Sonia was with Harry Dubin or whatever his name is, at the restaurant, the Regency, while she went up and grabbed his hand and she took him away and left Sonia there, and they left. She did the same thing when she married Tom. He was with another woman.
That's why I didn't feel bad when, like, I mean, I felt like she was so braggadocious about Tom. In one sense, I'm happy for her, and I see where, like, she was like finally found the love that she's been looking for. But on the other hand, they're clowning the entire relationship. But at that point, like, why wouldn't they? They know what kind of person she is. Like, you know, I felt bad. They're all like, yeah, we slept with him too. Wow, we slept with him too. Like she's marrying that man. Like at one point I'm like, stop doing that. That's horrible because of Ramona. But like she kind of got what she.
Well, you know, the funny thing is if she would have watched the first season of The Real Housewives of New York, she would have seen Tom hitting on Ramona in a club. I was watching like an old episode like a few months ago. They were repeating it. It's Tom, and he comes up and he's with a friend and she's out with some other girlfriend. She's like, no, I'm married. And he was hitting on them.
So he's like a homie hopper kind of. He just like a homie hopper.
Let's go to the Regency for a drink and see if we see them.
Oh my God, I forgot we're all going to be in New York. I'm so excited. There's so much we can do. And oh my God, it just really sucks because the trial would have been going on. Her trial would have been going on the end of April if the date would have stuck. Like seriously, I'm too scared to go by myself.
If I was there, I would have gone with you.
Seriously, I want to drive up. It's right in July. It's only like it's like
it's in July the trial. No.
If it doesn't get pushed back, but I have to be there. How can I not? I'm like right here. How could I not?
Yeah, you got to do it.
I have to try to get in. I am dying to know her goddamn defense. And I don't want it to be, I'm the brown girl. Like, if that is her defense, I'm going to friggin' flip. Because I
See,
feel
I
like
have
that's
a
what she
different
was setting.
opinion with Jen Shaw, which
You
is
don't
like,
think that's what she was setting up for? Like
no,
that she was
like
going to try to.
I think watching the show and she does use the "I'm a brown girl" a little too much for
I
my
can't think of any other
liking.
defense she could possibly think of. Though
But like
they're so dumb.
I understand her family aspect because I've grown up around Tongans and Samoans. So like I understand that culture. So
Is that
like
what she is, Samoan?
yeah,
Okay.
well, some people say she's Tongan, but I think she might be Tongan Samoan. I think
Okay.
she's supposed to be part Hawaiian.
Okay.
But I know that culture, and for me, that's what I have trouble wrapping my head around because,
Right.
like, in that culture, like, she's right. You do, when you're the eldest, and especially if someone has passed on, like, you have to step up even more than you already have.
But then what
And
happens when you take your mother's fucking retirement?
yeah, and like
Right?
usually the whole family, when you all live together, you all contribute. So you
Right.
all work, you all put money into the house. Like I've got friends here, there's like 6 or 7 to 12 of them in one house, you know. It could be a 3-bedroom house.
Like,
They
where do
bring
you
in
think it
a
went
couple of
wrong with?
$1,000, you know, a week, and that's how it is. Like
Do you think that's why she did it?
I think she was trying to pay for her family, but even that, I'm still confused. Like I'm
Right.
like you, I want to know more details.
Yeah. Like, I need to
I'm confused
know.
about how, like, was she just sitting there signing papers and she didn't know? Because that's a possibility, right?
It's a
Like,
possibility.
whether it's real or not is
It's
different,
like a
but it's a
90. It's like a
possibility.
2% possibility. The other
Yeah.
98%
And
possibility
and I think
is
for a
that
lot of
that's not
people, it's like, how much do you really know and how much are we really seeing? Like, it's
I know,
TV,
because
right?
the company
It all
would
comes
coach
down to
people.
editing as well. And I'm, you know,
I
Norma
know, but
being in
like,
that industry, and me being an editor, a lot of the time you can only show what you've been given footage wise.
but
And
then
then
why
you've got
would
to
she
try
set up
and
accounts
create the
though?
story. And then if
She's
the
flashing
story's already
money,
there,
but
you
she's
know.
setting up accounts and shell accounts, and she's shell, you know what I mean? And she's hiding money that, or like washing money, hiding money that she
Yeah, like I'm confused
obviously
about the
knows that
whole
something's
thing.
wrong with that money. So you
Yeah.
wouldn't be setting up all these shell companies if that money wasn't to be cleaned or hidden or whatever the hell they do with it.
But
When
I
they do
do
that.
agree with her when they did the reunion, how she said, well, everyone's asking, how did I get all this stuff? Well, yeah, you do
Well, yeah, she
accumulate
does
stuff. You
accumulate.
know what I
Right.
mean?
True.
Like, I
Yeah.
understand her frustration in that perspective of the whole entirety of it. But I still think, like, you know, yeah, you can only answer what you legally can answer. But I'm
True.
pretty sure you can work your way around
I think
getting
she,
something
knowing that
out.
she's going to be on the show, probably amped up her. Like, I know she did this a while ago, but I think her wanting to get on the show and then getting on the show, she had to be amazing. Like, she went from, like, I'm saying, like, at the reunion, you almost see why Coach fell in love with her. Like, you almost see a side of her that's like humble, and you see why he fell in love with her.
Yeah.
And but then she comes back out. Then Amazing comes back out, and you're like, oh, now there she is. But like, you can kind of see, like, when she was all natural, when she didn't have her glam squad, and she had that red outfit on. I just can't even get the picture out of my head because she was absolutely freaking stunning.
Yeah,
Because
and she
I was
is
like,
like, she's a beautiful woman.
yeah, and her humbleness a little bit at the first part of the reunion. I'm like, all right, I can see what he sees. I could see the part of her that, you know, it kind of makes me feel a lot better because I'm like, now I see why he stays with her, because she does have a side of her that's not amazing. And I
And
think
she's very funny. She's very funny. She's very
yeah, like
funny.
she can be a good friend. I mean, she can be all those things, but she's just lost in the sauce and she can't get out of her own freaking way. But this judge is no joke, and she's not going to be happy.
And money, you know, like I was saying this to a friend yesterday. He said, you know, money is worshipped by so many people, and he's not wrong. Like, when you see
That's so
money
true.
as being more important than who you have in your world, I think that
Right.
says a lot about you in some cases. Like, for me, I have next to nothing, and I'm okay with that.
And you're
Like,
happy, right?
yeah, and I've met all of you guys, and like,
Right.
I went from having one best friend here in my own world to now having all of you guys.
That's how I feel
And
too.
we have so many things in common, and even with an age difference, like I can connect to a lot of yous a lot better than I can to my friend.
Isn't that crazy?
You know,
I'm
and
telling you,
yeah,
it
but I
proves
would
that the
never
universe is
switch
working.
anything for money. Like I'd rather
Me
have
neither.
nothing. And like I even let my ex-husband take everything because I was like, I'll make it back faster than you ever could.
I even want less. Like I don't
You
even
know?
want. Like I want even less. Like I don't. This is. I don't have kids. Like I don't need. I want this extra. You know what I mean? Like I don't even need this. And this is nothing. My house literally costs $40,000. Like it's not big, but like I am like I keep like they always say like manifest this, manifest that. I don't need any more. I just want to like
and
just be happy.
that's the beauty, because the truth is, like during this pandemic, a lot of people lost a lot of things, but people who had few things were able to survive, I think, emotionally and mentally, because they were able to sustain themselves on simplicity.
I know. I literally, yep.
You know, people that I mean, I live.
Yeah.
I'm not one of the rich ones out here, but there are people with a lot of fucking money. You know, it's where the Kardashians live, Calabasas.
Oh.
So these are all. I mean, my youngest son, when he was a teenager, he went to a party and he wanted to hit on Kylie, and he's like, and she wasn't who she is today. And I said, "Oh, sweetie, you don't even bother, because she's not going to look at." But you know, Hidden Hills, all this area, and the truth is, there's so much. They're bitching and moaning. Like one woman I know, she's, I can't travel, I can't do this, I can't do that, and it's like, you've got a beautiful home with a beautiful backyard. In minutes, you're at the ocean. You got a pool. You got everything, and you're bitching when there are people who can barely put two pennies together. And then her husband's like, "Why are people getting subsidized? They're lazy." No, they're not lazy. My best friend, his husband is dying, and what he's getting from unemployment doesn't cover.
Isn't that crazy?
You know, and he works in the theater, so he couldn't work. So, you know, it's just that people have false. I have another friend who, she travels whenever she wants. She's like, I think I'll go to Hawaii next weekend. And then at the drop of a hat, she goes, you know, I changed my mind. I think I'll go next week. And it's like, damn, I can't change my travel plans like that. She travels first class. It's just like,
there's so much more with me.
The values are askew.
Right. As like Dolores Cannon says, like there's a shift coming, and like, I mean, for the longest time we were like the outcast. You know what I mean? For the longest time, like we were the one. Like nobody was looking up. Like, you know, we just, because like I was considered weird because, you know.
Well, because that was the great narrative to have.
Right. But it's like the shift is coming back now, where, you know, people like the 80s, you know, like the whole, you know, the Cold War is over, the 80s, well, everything's not money, money, money. So now it's like that lifestyle is so hard to keep up with. It's like keeping up with the Joneses is almost impossible.
Yeah.
Because it's all
movie.
And I agree with Norma. Like, I'm one of those people who, during like the C word times, like I was already isolated.
Me too.
I already was living on nothing. So it wasn't a big deal for me, but a lot of people were like, oh, it's so hard. Like the hardest thing for me was not having people to talk to.
Right.
And then like I met all of you guys, so it wasn't a problem anymore. But
that's
like,
what happened with the pandemic.
That's all it is. Like, and it's your mindset, you know, like you were saying earlier about manifesting. Like you got to manifest what you want in your life, and you got to be willing to allow that to come in.
Like, that sounds so greedy. Like I don't want to not work for, not that I want anything for free. The concept in my head, my perception of manifesting more, I was skewed. My perception was like, I don't need more money, more money, more money. That's more, a bigger house, this. I was not realizing manifesting also could mean my entire reality, my future, and just keeping what I have, exactly, just my future in general. Like, so now I'm more like meditating. I'm working more towards that. But like, I wouldn't even look at the word for the longest time because I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. Like, I mean, it took me a while to grasp the concept of what it really means. Like, I know we have to sustain our life, but like, I'm more than happy just taking care of the earth and just pay me back that way. You know what I mean? Like that's how I want to like literally. I want to just live
You
off the
have
earth.
gratitude for what you have.
Yeah, like I want to take.
You
I
have
literally
a-
want to be. My heaven is in. So I don't know if you hear about like Cassiopeia or like Andromeda, where it's like literally it's just nothing but a beach. Like I just want to be there on the beach with land and sea animals, horses and my animals and all my plants and all my flowers and like a few humans, few said humans maybe, some souls. I'll bring some souls on there with me, but I want mostly animals. And I don't want to work. Well, I'm not work, but I literally just want to take care of the plants and the animals. That's my like my contribution. Can't we just like live like that? Like there's an actual place, like a real place like that. Like that is my heaven. And if I have to make it here, I'll try to manifest it here. But I don't really think that's going to happen here. I would rather just like incarnate to Andromeda again.
What I said for me for the COVID, the lesson I learned, it was in the 19 March. It was the anniversary of the 1 year of my brain stroke due to COVID. I had
1 year anniversary.
Yes, 1 year. I had my brain stroke the 1921 March, and I passed the 1922 March here of this year, and it was the first anniversary, and for me it was from a rebirth because my work is from helping people. I was helping everyone, but not me, and I was looking for freedom, but I already have that freedom, but I don't see it. And I think what Norma say, someone don't see what we have. I don't speak about money because I don't have any much money, but from a freedom in my head, in my spirit. And I think it's that because COVID gives this place to everyone sometimes in the good way to make a reset and to say, okay, my life is not good. And from people it was benefit, but from other it was very, hard.
Yeah. Like I struggled with the like why it happened. Like I'm trying to like see the bigger picture. Like what did it happen? Was it supposed to be the end of our humanity? Was it supposed to be a baby learning lesson? Was this a part of a soul contract? Like, is it part of did the government do this? Was it impinging on our free will? Like, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what they.
Sometimes we don't need to have an answer. Sometimes we just
the
thing. And I think COVID maybe said that.
I mean, I guess
people sometimes don't think. Just take it for what it gives you or not. Life, destiny, karma, or in Egyptian kismet, and in Arabic mektub. Take it and leave it. And accept it like a gift, maybe a hard gift, but a lesson to learn. Once the person I see from my associate, she said me about the whole life you learn to your past to evolve in good way and to learn your lesson. And sometimes you have situations is repetition about that to learn something. And I think COVID was, I don't speak about the death, everything like that. It's very sad. I am very in with all people. I give them love, only my energy and everything like that. But I think in the darkness, you see the light. And like she maybe in this moment in her life, she lost so much thing. She was in the darkness, but at the end, she found the light because she fight for it. And why I'm very impressive by her is she's like that. You find the light after you fight against the darkness in your life. I think it's that important.
That's true. I know. I always try to I think too, like, why am I trying to find the reason? I just have to accept, like, find the lesson out of it, which I have. But I feel like I always try to, like, I guess I have to, like, I try. I'm like, why did this happen? Because I'm like, I struggle with like the people that passed away or just that got it 3 or 4 times. It's just crazy to me. Like, I don't know.
I agree with Gabrielle. Sometimes I mean, believe me, I have my own demons that I'm dealing with, and it's not horrible. What I'm going through is not horrible, but I have to learn to adjust. And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to learn from this? What am I supposed?
Right.
And sometimes the message is just let it be. Just go with the flow. Just trust. Just trust. I really implore you to listen to this guy. I put it in the feed. It's Nicholas Ashbach, and he does believe in, he channels messages, and it's for the
Does he?
collective. Yes. So
For the collective?
yes, every Sunday morning, he starts, sometimes he'll do a meditation or he'll do a clearing.
Okay.
And this is cute little guy from California somewhere, and he's got a dog, which is his little partner. And then he'll go through what is the general message for everybody, like what is for this week, and then he'll go day by day. He'll pull a tarot card, then he'll go by the signs, the elements he calls them, and then what are the blocks, what are the blessings, what are the, I mean, it's long. I listen to him when I'm
I'd been, when I first realized what channeling was, I binged the entire he's an actor, but he's Ruben something. But he has all the channelers, like they channel, like the one lady, she channels the Yael, which they're actually from the future. And there's another guy, which you probably know these people, but I can't think of his name right now. But or Anka, Daryl Anka, and he channels Bashir, which I believe, Bashir. I think he's part of Yael too, Yael tribe, but they're from the future too. Yeah, and then the one lady, she channels like Archangel Michael, Gabriel.
love Archangel.
Yeah, and she a lot of divine, like feminine, divine energy. All of them. Like he has like 4 seasons of it.
Well, that's going back to what Mocha. What sign are you, Krista?
Sagittarius.
Okay, so you're fire like me. So going back to
Libra.
what Mocha. Oh, I love Libras. Going back to Mocha, she was talking about crystals. There are the Lemurian. Have you heard of the Lemurian crystals?
Are they from Lemuria?
Yeah, they have lines on them, and there's messages in there.
Yes, a lady was saying that if you get them, and if you're from Lemuria, you can unlock the message.
Yeah, and there's one of them from the Caribbean, from the Dominican Republic. It's called Larimar. Lar is the girl's name. Is the person who found it? His daughter's name is Larissa. So it's Lar from her name, E, which is and in our language, and then Mar, M-A-R, which is sea. So Larimar, and so they say that these crystals are from the Atlantis.
Yes.
And so there's a lot of time, because the truth is that the crystals are from the earth. I mean, they are from the earth. And if you look at your watch, you have a quartz crystal, and it keeps things going. So there's a vibration, and you can program your crystals.
I can't believe you just said the second time this week, because it's the first time I heard that was this week, and then you're the second time this week now. That's not crazy though.
It's a sign though.
I know. And I right before I came on, I got I get angel numbers all day long, but I got 1-1. Well, I got 11-11 somewhere. I can't remember now. And then right before I came on, I got 1-1-1. And I was like, what's my thought at this time? And it was like telling myself, do not go into my spiritual talk. They don't want to hear it. And then I said 1, and it was like, no, forged head. And then we ended up talking about it. And then you brought that up, because I was like, wait a minute, I don't have a Lemuria crystal. And I'm like, and I know, I'm pretty sure I'll find out soon. But if I'm from Lemuria, then that would make sense.
It'll find you. I mean, Mocha.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it just did, right?
I'm sorry to everyone. I'm going to go to sleep because it's 1 of morning. It's the middle of the night here.
Oh, look, it's 2:22. Sorry, I had to point that out real quick.
It's 1 of the morning here in Paris. I'll let you. I go to sleep because I had so much thing tomorrow morning. But I was very happy to be here, and I'm just listening to sleep with your voice tonight.
Okay, bonsoir.
Bonne nuit, bye
bye. Bonne nuit,
yes. Everyone, bye bye.
Bonsoir, it's bonne nuit. Yes.
Bonsoir. Ciao.
Ciao. So Mocha, I mean, you could comment on that. But I personally think, like, when I first met Adam and stuff, they were talking. I guess they were talking to Femtero and buy crystals and stuff. And I'm like, somebody, and I said, don't buy them from Amazon. Not that there's anything wrong with Amazon. As a matter of fact, I bought my son some crystals because I'm not in New York to clear his.
Is that the son we're going to meet in New York? Are we going to meet him in New York?
I don't know, because he works for a French company, and he works like till 11 o'clock at night. But he's not, because he's my son, but he's a very handsome boy, 6'6".
I know. I would like to meet him now.
But the best thing to do is to walk in a crystal store and let the crystal call you.
We go to
Yeah.
East meets West, but I got to talk to you guys before I go next time, because I literally just started meeting people online that were spiritual, because I don't do any work myself, but I have never had, well, I'm on the list to get my Akashic records read. I have my own meditation where what I believe, what comes to me, but I guess we'll find out. But it was crazy because like somebody said to me, like, well, how do you know she's not making it up? It never even crossed my mind that she would make that up. You know what I mean? That's how I know. Like if I was like, if I'm going to pay, so it's Debbie Solaris. I went on her list. She has a waiting list that's 18 months long now, right?
Wow.
And I'm like, well, hopefully by then I will meet somebody else, or I'll come across somebody, because I found her through Dolores Cannon, which to me that was a sign.
Yeah,
and then I just binged all her readings, because I was like, I just started learning about galactic history, which for some reason, being a starseed, I had that was the last piece. I just didn't learn. I didn't get into that part of my books yet. But then I found her and I was like, okay, well, this is the last piece of the puzzle to learn the galactic history from her, or I guess what my perception would be. But like, and then meeting her, like, that's where I'm learning the stories about Lemuria and the Lemuria crystal, because she actually just said it to the lady. She's like, you know, that if you're from here and you have that crystal, you could unlock the code that's locked inside of it. And I was like, oh my God, really? I was like, that's crazy. Like, I mean, like, it's just, I find out new stuff every day. And I'm just like,
well, the best thing about crystals is when you walk into the shop, you actually let your spirit and the crystal guide you. A fun fact about the crystals, when you pick them up, when you think it's your one to have, you can actually feel heat coming off the crystal. And the hotter it gets, that means you need it the most, usually. Sometimes, like my sister, I let her hold one of mine when she needed it, and she's like, oh my God, it's burning my hand.
What if I pick them up now? Same thing?
Yeah, like,
Okay.
usually, because like they call to you, there's, like Norman said, it's like a frequency, a vibration.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And your crystals, when you get them, you're supposed to cleanse them, and you're supposed to program them to you, because they are specifically for you. And when you no longer need them, they'll let you know. And you can either bury them, or you can pass them on as gifts. But it's just dependent on the person as well.
I have in my house looks like a crystal store, because my son is a Taurus, the one that lives in New York. And when he was around 8 years old, he became what's called a rock hound. And he would ask me to go to all these gem shows. And he had an eye for crystals. He'd want this one, that one, the other. Now, some of them are worth hundreds of dollars. But I started working with crystals about 7 years ago and really collecting. And what Mocha says is true. When it no longer wants to work with you, I try not, they're not in my drawers, they're not in boxes, they're all out on display, because they need that. But I did recently give over, I think I would easily say 250 crystals to a store, a metaphysical store. And I said, just donate them, give them to people as they come in, let them grow. And they went fast. People were like, oh, I want to, because
it came from somebody else.
Yeah, it called to them. It was no longer of service to me. So I rotate mine, the ones that I work with.
I haven't done that. So
and you embed your own energy into them. So for Norma, let's say she's had them for that long, her and her family have embedded so much good, happy energy into those crystals.
Right.
So now they're ready for another person who really needs that type of energy in their life.
Well, what if I had bad energy in here when I first got them, but it's been a couple of years now.
And but so you've cleared the energy now. So
it's switched. So what? So you think it's get rid of them?
No.
Oh,
no,
okay.
No.
Wait,
I'm sorry, I interrupted Mocha. You clear them.
Okay.
That's what I mean. I have my son, my oldest son, had a girlfriend, and they had a baby together. They didn't stay together, but my grandson comes here all the time, and he's never once grabbed my crystals are all on display. He doesn't touch them. And a friend of mine, I said, "Come on over, bring your kids. We'll go in the back and go swimming." And she goes, "No, my 6-year-old will play with all your crystals." And I looked at her and I said, "No, he won't," because. And it's what Mocha was saying about how it has our energy. People come to my house and they look at my crystals. Nobody will touch them.
My friend's kid lost mine, and she gets mad at me because she says it's a rock, and I said no, it's not, because it was an expensive one. It's got to be in my house though, right?
What kind of crystal is it?
It's a quartz crystal, and I ordered it from what's his name? From Heidi, from Spidey, a long time ago.
Sometimes when they get lost, sometimes it's because they're no longer of service. Too.
Okay, so should I not? All right, because I've been upset about it for years.
It will
And
turn
I've
up when
cleaned my house
when
a
you
million
need it.
times, and I feel like at this point it's gone for a reason, right?
Well, it will turn up when you need it, though.
Yeah, if it's meant to be, it'll come back, or you'll get another one. I bought a beautiful.
It was one of the first ones I paid money for. I saved money for this.
I bought. Oh, how much did you spend for it? If you don't mind my asking. 400. 400.
No.
$4. 40.
No, keep going higher.
That's one of his cheaper ones. 4,000. That's one of his.
Yeah.
How
It's
big
because
is
it was Heidi and Spencer's brand.
I mean,
But the best thing about crystals,
Spencer
Krista, is
Platt?
that you don't actually.
yes, his crystals are like 40,000. That was a cheaper one.
Show me with your hands how big that was.
I can tell you what I wanted so much, just like it. Hold on.
Because I want to know how a child can lose that.
Well, I honestly, it's almost impossible because it would have to be in that well, no, he could have had it in his hand and brought it somewhere.
I look like death warmed over, but I'm going to open up my camera. Look at this. Wait, hold on.
I know. Look, I look like really bad too. But.
Wait. Look at this.
Oh my God, that thing is huge. See?
You know how much I paid for it? $45 because it's
well, I paid like all my other ones. I've got an East Meets West for like $4.99, $1.99.
Well, what Mocha said. I mean, I held this and I started crying. It was vibrating so much, and it was much more than that. And the woman said, "I got it for a quarter of the price." She goes, "How much did you pay?" I said, $45. She goes, "It's yours. You have to have it." But I mean, I don't pay that kind of money unless it's in your hands.
It was right in the very beginning, and I was paying a lot of attention to what they were like teaching, and I believe in it, obviously. And I've seen a lot of their
do you see
a
my
lot of their stuff.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
They're beautiful.
And then
I've got a lot of the same ones. Mine's on a little tray.
See, I have right here all my spheres. This is my fairy corner. I mean, I have tons more, but I look like that, so I'm going to turn this off. But I'll tell you something. Mm-hmm. So, hold on. What I do, you're going to think this is funny, but I have here, this is my little friend. I'm going to show you guys. So you get to see me with no makeup, looking like death.
Well, look at me. I look like,
you look fabulous.
No,
I'm still in my jammies, so
my face is so bad. I'm crying all week.
Oh my God, there's other people watching. Oh my God, I forgot that.
I know, I forget too. I'm like smoking. I mean, it's legal, but I mean, still.
Oh well, I mean, I'm in California. It's so right here. Let me see. I'm going to turn this on again. So I have a bunch of these, and these are my babies. These are pendulums.
I was going to say, are they pendulums?
So
can you read can you do that from here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
And I have like, I don't know, 20 or 30, but whenever I lose something, I pull out a pendulum and I sit down and I ask it, and I always find everything. Or I ask my fairies in the house.
I ask my guides, I'm like, give it back. Give it back.
I have my son came home one day, he goes, I lost my watch. I go, hold on, let me get my pendulum. I said, it's in your backpack. No, Mom, I looked 3 times. I go, please look in your backpack one more time. And there it is. There it was. It's like he stuck his hand in and he couldn't believe it. But if I lose something in the house, because I do have fairies in my home, they will misplace things. And then I just go, okay, come on, guys. And I find it. So if you have any fairies in your house,
I think they're outside. Mine are outside. My elementals are all outside.
If you let them in, you're open.
I probably did. I probably did. You're right.
You're opening a world of trouble unless you like where mine are.
I'm still missing my remote from 3 days ago. I know that it was there. Yeah, and they will not give it back. But guess what? Now I said that. I just told them like 3 days right before this. I said, please give it back. I need my remote back. I guarantee you after this, it's going to be there.
Yeah, I give them offerings. I'll light a candle or I'll put some candy
Why
out.
should I ask? Why? It's my stuff.
I know, but you've invited,
I
if
know.
they're in your home, they're gonna,
That's true.
Yeah,
that's,
like
but
if you like, I can show you a couple of mine.
oh, yes.
So I'll try and
I could
do it.
sleep for like an hour.
So these are my
Oh,
two.
are those Labradorite?
They're oh, I always forget how to say it. Oh, well, I don't know why I'm going to say black tourmaline, but I've got it right next to me. It's the Lapa.
Oh, Lapa
That's
Lazuli.
it. Yeah.
Okay, it looks
So I have two
darker.
of those pendulums, and I had a like red one as well, but I gave it to my mum. And then this.
Oh, that's black
So
tourmaline, yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
can you guys see it in its
Oh,
yeah,
it's
entirety?
not
gorgeous.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, this cost me
gorgeous.
$85.
Beautiful.
And
Yeah.
as soon as I touched it, I knew that it was for me.
Wow.
And then to make, like, even on top of it, so I made my own scry chart.
Ooh.
Oh,
So this is based on me, and my culture.
Oh.
So,
I
yeah,
like
and then
that.
on the back, like, I put everything down that I
Wow.
needed.
oh,
You made that yourself?
that's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Yes, it is. Holy.
Oh,
And
wow.
I just asked
I
the
love
guides
that. Yeah.
to help me build it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Wow.
that's basically what I do.
I love those symbols.
I'm like so excited right now.
And that's what I work in. I've been doing it like my whole life, but I've focused more on it in
Yeah.
like the last 4 to 5 months. It's something that like I've grown to really enjoy as well. Like I said, if anyone ever needs a reading
Oh,
or
like you just really opened Pandora's box. Like now I'm not gonna leave you alone because I don't know why I never take. I guess it wasn't time. I just wasn't time. I guess because people are like in the
yeah, because
spiritual groups be like, "Let me read you," but I always feel like I
no,
don't know.
it's when you're ready, Krista. Like
Yeah, I
this is
guess
the
I just
thing.
am ready.
People,
Yeah.
um, people assume that it all is witchy and it's all bad, but like there's good and bad in everything, right? You can
Exactly.
always tell who is worthy of giving you your readings
Yeah,
and who
true.
you believe.
I
Oh yeah.
trust you. I trust you, Mocha,
Oh yeah,
100%.
definitely.
Yeah, and like for me, like I do mine non-profit. I don't need any financial aid. I mean, I have what I need to survive, but could I have extra money? Sure, who couldn't?
Yeah.
Right, right,
But
right.
I do mine because it is my job.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I was born to help other people. Um, and doing this it brings me so much joy and comfort in knowing that I can help somebody. I've already done a lot of readings for Elaine. Um,
Oh,
I did one for Sarah the other day, and like that was really powerful.
wow.
I've always done them for my mum. I do them for my friends all the time. I even do my own. So
Yeah.
like it is something that like when you find the right people or the right
Yeah.
person, it is easy to trust. I think the hardest thing is when money is involved in this
Right.
type of work, it is a lot harder to understand or believe that they're being real. And like for me, I have no
Right.
social media till recently, and I'm not that type of person who has time to look other people up. I could care less.
I just didn't realize that how
So
many people do that. Like how many people are and also when they're offering too, I realized I learned like Debbie said, take those people. She's like, I know I'm booked. She's like, but take up those people, go on there and take up the people on their offer that are offering free ones because they are trying to learn. She's like, they're going on, they're looking for people because they're practicing and they need practice, practice, practice. She's like, I started the same way. Like she's only she's like, I think 15 years in, but like she said, she didn't make up until she was 50. She was a scientist and then she was in the Navy. So, and now she reads Akashic Records. Like she literally within seconds, the second she opens them, they come right to her, and she's like,
Wow.
you guys have to look her up. She's awesome. And it's all mostly Starseed stuff that she has on YouTube. I'm sure she does past life as well. Well, same thing. I guess she also does, regressions that are not Starseed regressions that are like all earthly, like reincarnations,
And,
but like her
and different readers do different readings.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I know how to
I would
read 3
trust
different
her
types of
before I trust my
cards.
subconscious, I think, because I feel like if I was regressed, I would try to question if I made it up or not. You know what I mean? Like, I think I trust her reading my records. Are you guys reading me more than I trust myself for some reason?
And it's easy to feel that way because, like, and I think what a lot of people don't realize, readings are actually really an intimate experience, and you have to be really ready to allow those to come in and understand that it's not on a set time frame, because especially the new age people who are like, oh, I'm so into this, I'm looking at all the crystals, like those types, they want it right now, and it's because of the world we're in. But this is just a guide. It's not a direct, this is what you need to do. It gives you 2 paths, and then you pick which one to follow.
I need to figure, I want to know exactly where I'm from. And that too. Like, I want to know my galactic history, my starseed history. But I also want my, I feel like, and there's definitely a block. I definitely have a block, because even when I meditate, I feel like I'm trying to manifest in mud almost. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's just mud and muck everywhere. Like, things are not just like, I feel like there's definitely, like, I don't know if it's where I'm at or it's me. It's probably me, but
like, if you're a more natured person, like you like being outdoors.
Yeah.
Like my mum, she needs to be outside.
It's killing me.
She needs to touch the trees. She needs to smell the air. She needs to feel the sand in her feet. Like, that's her type of meditation. And as soon as she does it, she feels so much better. Where for me, and especially being a Libran, I'm a social person. So I get my energy from being around other people.
They suck my energy.
Yeah, and then that's the thing too. You know, people can suck your energy.
No, it's serious.
And they're spiritual vampires.
I take on their energy. I take their negative shit on. Yeah. I'm telling you, plants and animals. I cry. When I had to cut my cactus down, I cried at the end of the summer. Like, it kills me when I had to cut my plants down. Like I just planted them 2 months early.
You give off a very environmental vibe. Like, you're very nature oriented.
Oh, yeah, I just want plants and animals. I don't really want other souls around me.
So it makes sense that that's where you feel peace. So if you had a spot in the garden where you could actually meditate, you'd probably find that you would feel more relaxed and comfortable on a regular basis than, let's say, being in the bedroom or, you know, being with a group of people.
Well, see, my whole thing was, that was the whole plan. And that when my elfin ears grew in, they're going to be tall enough to block where there's no privacy fence, because our houses are really close together and it's loud, and number one. And then, like, not exactly, I mean, it's like, I'm not exactly where people, like, I can be out there with my mantra playing and, like, sitting there and meditating, and without the rest of the freaking assholes. Like, they're like doing crystal meth next door. You know what I mean? And they're like staring, and they're like fucking weird. Like, they're weirder than me. So it's like, my whole plan was, I want my husband to put a privacy fence up on this side, because I don't want to be bothered anymore. Like, I have one on this side, so I'm fine. So my cactus grew 20 foot. So this year, if he doesn't put a fence up by literally next month, I am literally putting a pallet wood one up myself, because I just have a bunch of pallets. I have this plan to make a deck, but I don't know. But we'll see. But I literally, because that's what I literally planted all that stuff last summer for that reason, to meditate outside. And then I quickly realized that these assholes never leave me the fuck alone around here. Seriously. Like,
and it's all about creating a space that
I need it. I need my peace. But it's like, this isn't a town that have peace. But I realize this is my forever home. So I just have to make
and surrounding yourself with things that actually bring you joy. Like, I think it's Marie Kondo who does the whole, like, spark joy, and you throw this out and you keep this. That's the same with your life. You know, you keep the things that you need, you get rid of the things you don't. And people who understand you and on the same journey as you, they will stick around.
Well, I got rid of those people. So
yeah, because they understand who
They
you
did.
are and your needs. And some people just aren't ready for that. So, I think for
You know
all of
what's
us, it's just a lesson in understanding who we are as people. And it can take
yeah.
people years. Like for me, I'm very lucky. I never realized how intelligent I actually was
Isn't that
until
crazy?
until I went to university and I got in. And that was much later in my life. And I realized, wow, I'm actually really, really smart. And other people can't keep up with me.
It's crazy. You realize, like, when you
Yeah.
retain information now, you're like, wow, like,
Yeah. And now, like, I found my group of people
yes,
and I feel more
we can speak. We're
comfortable.
like-minded people. We're like-minded.
Yeah. And just getting to understand, like, that even though we all have different lives and lifestyles, that we all find beauty in a lot of the same things and that
Mm-hmm.
we can do it together. And like I said, creating those spaces where you feel safe and comfortable is paramount to your own well-being and your own mental health.
Like, I couldn't even describe, like, when people were like, why did you quit your job? Like, people don't understand, like, all of a sudden I wasn't working. I didn't want to work anymore. Like, I mean, I couldn't. I could not, mentally could not keep up. And I didn't realize what was happening. And now even my husband's like, sometimes I'll mention work. I'm just like, yeah, okay. Like, I'm not working. You're out of your mind. I'm not fucking going back to work. Like, I just can't think of living a 3D, I don't want to say 3D life, but like, I can't deal with people anymore. And it's a shame. I remember I'm just like, Dolores kind of just like keeps replaying in my head. Cause I remember her saying like, this was before I realized what, like, really what was going on and like why she was talking about like getting out of the negativity and like focusing on the positive. And I'm thinking to myself, like, literally that was not who I was. And I'm like, and then I remember her saying like, she's like, slowly the people that aren't supposed to be there will leave. And then you'll move into like a whole different life. And I remember thinking to myself, like, how is that going to work? Like, how there's so many negative people. I'm like, that would be mostly everybody, I was thinking. But like over the years, slowly, like those people have, even though I've cut them off, but like people have just disappeared. Like, I mean, literally even disappeared from my memory almost. Like, and now she was so right. Like, I'm like, even though I got rid of them, but like it worked itself out. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it just, like, they slowly just, the people that aren't supposed to be in my life, it's heartbreaking. It sucked. But like, I realize now, like, they basically, some of them, good reason they're not in my life, because most of them are going to prison right now. And that's all within the last year and a half. And I think, holy crap, like, even though, I mean, I literally jumped ship at the right time. Well, I guess, I mean, I was like, screw this. I can't live my life. Like, I could not live my life like this. And I saw the ship sinking and and nobody was listening to me. And then just kept one ship at a time. And I'm like, don't you guys see what the hell's going on? They're not going to stop at this one. Like, you're not special. And then everybody the whole ship sank. And I'm like sitting back, like, with no friends. And I'm like, not sober as fuck, trying to deal with life, watching all these assholes get fucking high. But then what happened? They all got high and now they're all going to fucking jail. So they all got ratted. They all ratted on each other. They all started doing meth, and paranoid conspiracy theories started. Like, now this one's ratting on this one, and this one thinks this one's a snitch, and this one's talking about this one. Now, if that was true, all of us being friends for 20 some years, if you really thought this one was stealing from you, we wouldn't be sitting in the fucking room together right now, would we? Would this one, we wouldn't be best friends tomorrow. Like, get the fuck out of here. You guys are all nuts. Like, it just became like a whole shit show. And now I'm like, how did I even live my life like that for so fucking long? Like, I almost feel like there was a walk-in in my, like, I really believe there's another soul that walked in, because I don't even believe I'm the same person that I was then. It doesn't even feel like the same universe, because that's literally how I lived my life for a long fucking time. And I don't even understand how that, like, it just all went away. It was like one day I just woke up, I'm like, I can't fucking do this anymore. Well, I didn't have a choice. I had to get sober. But when I realized what I was like, and guess what my sober date was? 12/22/12.
Wow.
Isn't that? And I did not know the significance until 2 years ago. Did not know the significance of that date. Yeah. Like, yeah, the end of the Mayan calendar, D-Day, when the earth shifted. Literally. And that was like, it was crazy the whole entire year. And then I'm like, either there was a walk-in where, like, when I OD'd, I must have either OD'd, and when I died, either another soul walked in and like straightened myself out, or I really did just change. I don't know. Or this is who I'm supposed to be this whole time. I guess we'll find out when I get my records read. But
Well, a lot of people do
there was a
use
walk-in,
substances to hide A lot of
That's
people do
true.
use substances to hide their true selves because, and it's part of,
Maybe I
like
didn't
for
wake up
me, I
because I
think
was
it's
doing
part of
drugs.
programming. I
Yeah.
think, you know, when you grow up in a certain lifestyle and around certain people, you learn that numbing your feelings or your thoughts and that is the
Well, it's
best
not
way to get
medically,
through life. And a lot of the times it isn't. And for some people, like, you know, when we were talking about addiction on one of the lives, you know, like addiction or a disorder, it's all the same. It's a lifelong issue.
yeah.
It's not, you
I
can't
mean,
fix it overnight, and it's not something that's easy. So, you know,
it's
it's
literally minute
even,
by
it's the
minute.
same with change in your life, you know. It's really hard at first to let go of people that you've known for years.
I
But
mean, yeah.
when you're ready, like you're so ready for the next stage of a life that you
And
know
it didn't
is going
even,
to be so
it
much
happened
better.
without even realizing it. I didn't even realize it was happening. I just could not stand. They were sucking the life out of me. And I was not going to go down. I mean, it just wasn't a life anymore. My husband deserved way better. Way better. Like, it just wasn't, it's sad though, because I always thought, like, honestly, like by this point, I mean, our kids, like their kids are having kids. Their kids are dying from overdoses. Like, how did we get this old? But like, I feel,
Wow.
I would think by this, yeah, like I actually have a friend of mine whose daughter died from an overdose. And I'm just like, how are you know, like it's, wow.
That's sad.
Yeah. It's
But
just crazy. Like but like, if
I
I was
mean,
literally to have friends, like if they were, if my husband was like, you can't do meth anymore. No shit, I can't do meth. But he's like, well, you can't hang out with people that do it. Well, that's fucking everyone at that. It was literally everyone. It was literally every single one of my friends was either selling it or doing it. And then my family. Like, it was like, it's just literally like I had no choice but to be around it. So I had no choice but to cut everybody out because I can fuck up all by myself. I don't need them to help me. You know, like I fucked up my life way okay by myself. I did not need these people to keep fucking up for me or helping me along. But it's like, what was I supposed to do? I had to cut them all out. I was like, I mean, honestly, I'm not going to, they literally were, the cops are watching you people. I don't want the cops watching me. I like
that's a
to
testament to your inner strength. I mean, we're not
but
born
it
perfect.
sucks. But it sucks.
It does, and it's painful. I mean, with
It's
my
really
kids,
painful.
sometimes mistakes, I go, well, that's what this
Some of them
life
I
is, journey, you know, and we
Yeah.
have to learn from our mistakes and grow. And it seems like you are right there.
I did. It just, I mean, I can honestly say two of them I do love. I don't think they'll catch up anytime soon. And I'm just not ready for, yeah, no, like she's still for my husband now. But like, I mean, but they're the people, there's two of them that I do love that's like painful. But the rest of them, it just was, I guess, a season, you know?
And
Season.
like I can
20
agree
seasons.
with you on that, and I understand because there's one person in my life, like her and her partner, they were such a big part of my early
Yeah.
adulthood, and I loved them to death. I was there with all their kids, and she went down the wrong path and just spiraled. And it got to a point where it got so hard to watch her do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then she'd come back and ask for my help and then do it again and it get worse. And I miss her every day. But I know that if I stayed around her, that
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't have benefited me and I wouldn't be where I am today and being
Right.
able to help people that
Right.
truly want it and deserve
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys caught the live the one time with Jordan, and I was talking about my wedding party, and I said how I have the X's over.
Yeah, I caught that one.
Well, I friggin' found the picture. I forgot I had it on there. I don't know if you can see it, but wait, let me pull it back a little bit. I'm like,
yeah.
All right, so we got, where are we at here? So this is for M, so we can't say her name over there. Well, she's a stick figure because I shouldn't even make it to the wedding. Fuck her. But the rest of them, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. The only one in there are my two sisters that I still talk to, and actually that's 1.5 because I barely talk to one of them. And the other one I talk to all the time. But yeah, that's the one with the picture. She's like, I need to see that bridesmaid. I need to see that wedding picture with all the X's over their heads. Yeah, that's all my friends that I grew up with. That literally, scumbag, jail, piece of shit. Stole from me. Yeah, it's all scumbags. Like, seriously, at my wedding, or they got high at my wedding, or they did a bunch of freaking shit after my wedding, and slowly had to cut them off. Oh my God, I can't even, like, Literally, it literally, like I said, two of them break my heart, which is M. We can't say her name. She's a 6 year, and Jen, my other sister, because she had a kid, and even though she did a lot of fucked up shit to me, like it's just crazy because I would want to be in her kid's life. You know what I mean? Not her life, but her kid's life. She also told everybody she was dead and made us think she was all dead too for like 24 hours. So then at that point, the bitch stay fucking dead to me then, and she did. So.
And it is hard to move past situations and things with people when you do care so much.
Yeah, because you can't excuse it after a while. At fucking 40, how am I excusing you fucking stealing from me? At 40. Like, that's the shit we did when we were 20 or 25, and we didn't even do it to each other. So how at 40 fucking 2 do you walk out of the house with my husband's wallet, you fucking scumbag? Really? Like, how do you do this? With $500 in it, with his brother, and then my father-in-law's dying in the hospital. So they think he's dying. They go and they fucking break in his house and steal $5,000 worth of shit. Same day.
Oh,
that's crazy.
My own sister, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep, because they thought he was going to die. So they didn't think he was going to come home. That's the worst part. Yeah. It's pretty bad when, like, my brother-in-law admitted to it. And he was like, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was us. I'm like, I knew it was you guys. But, like, that's the shit I'm talking about. Like, how the fuck did, like...
Are you sure that none of them took that crystal? Does anybody know how valuable they were?
No, absolutely not. No, they're fucking stupid. No. They have no clue. They would try to snort it before they would steal it, okay? They try to shoot it. Yeah, they try to smoke it, shoot it, or snort it before they stole it. Trust me. They would think it's some kind of crystal that they would put up their noses. Trust me. They have no, no. The other one thought it was Whitney's crack den. I walk in my house and I walk in my bedroom and I'm like, literally I thought she was getting changed. And then like an hour goes by. I'm like, what the fuck is she doing? And I come in and it's like Whitney's crack den in my fucking bedroom. And I'm like, my husband's on her way home. Get the fuck out of my house. And she's like staring at me. I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is like not one incident. Like that was the last incident. You know what I mean? I got blood on my walls because she's got a freaking needle in her arm and she's shooting blood on my walls. Yeah, they're my friends for you. The people that were literally 20 fucking...
And you got to remember, there's only so much that us as human beings can take as well.
My husband
there's
doesn't
only so much leniency that we have for the people around us.
Yeah, I'd like, no fucking way was I. Like, no way. Not this life. Not today, Satan. Because like I said, my husband doesn't deserve it. He's a freaking saint. Like... It's bad enough he has me, but like, you know what? I'm getting, see.
But you just got to remember, like, you've done what's right for you, and
it's funny,
you're going to have such an amazing life because you're choosing for you, you know? Like, that's the thing a lot of people forget. We live our lives for everyone else and based on what other people expect from us instead of what we expect from ourselves. And what we want for ourselves.
But why is it so hard to ask to literally just to expect? Like, is it so much to ask to expect the same fucking respect in return that you give? Like, honestly, how hard is it? And if you can't do that, then get the fuck out. Like, why stay in somebody's life to continuously hurt them? What is the fucking point? Honestly, at that point, what is the gain there?
I think for a lot of people, it's just hurt people like to keep hurting people to keep misery around.
If you hate me
it's
that
more
much.
about them than it is about you as a person, as horrible as it is. But that's how I feel.
Like, I literally say all the time that I've forgiven them, but I honestly believe I did. But then I quickly realized tonight that I haven't yet.
Well, because you're
I'm
hurt.
trying. I am trying.
But you know, you're hurt by what happened, and there is a sort of sense of betrayal because you trust people and then they don't.
But it's been like years, Norma. It's been at some point 6 years with one of them, like 4 years, 3 years. It's like my sister's like, what'd she do now? I'm like, nothing. She fucking woke up and she breathed. That's what she did. But like, you would think she did this to me yesterday.
You might want to do something that's called cutting cords, where you cut your energetic connection to them. I have a friend who, when I needed someone, she gave me a home. And when I first moved out to LA, my brother was moving and I used to live with him and I had nowhere to live. You know, I didn't have enough money. And she took me in for about 3 months. She's the one who I said got married to someone very, very wealthy. And when I mean wealthy, I mean her best friend, her husband's best friend was, what's his name? Oh God, who was the president of CBS? What's her name from Big Brother? Julie
Julie
Julie Chen.
Chen?
Chen,
No.
Moonves, Les Moonves.
Uh,
So they were best friends with Les Moonves. He got in trouble with the Me Too movement, and they gave him $160 million or $200 million to leave CBS
To leave?
recently. Yeah, because he got in trouble for messing
So
around
he
with
got
women.
rewarded for his bad behavior.
Yeah. And this is a friend of mine that
Come here.
who could have very easily opened doors for me as an actress, because she had a boyfriend on the side because she was not happy with her husband, and she was subsidizing his acting career, getting him auditions. Never did that for me, but I'm grateful because I'm too proud and I'll do it on my own. I don't want to
Yeah.
owe anybody anything. But the point I guess I'm getting at is I had a big, birthday, my 50th birthday, and I put in a lot of effort to make this party really special. And she was drunk out of her mind. And she drove here and she saw a police car and she asked them, how do I get to this address? And they arrested her. And she was in jail for 3 days for drunk driving. And now when you're saying this about your friends, and it breaks my heart. And I have friends that reach out, how is she doing? What's going on? But she's a mess. She's a total mess. And I just realized my home was being protected from her energy of coming in here. That's what I mean. Just now, you see how things. I mean, we started with what was it that show, and now we're here talking about these things, and this became like a confessional. But you brought that to my forefront. Come on, Mocha, help me. You brought that. Now, what time is it in Australia, by the way?
I know.
It is now 11 a.m.
And it's like it's like late
What
here.
time do you get up?
Come here.
Oh, I actually got up earlier this morning so that I would be like awake and ready. So I was up at like 7:30 making breakfast and stuff. Probably earlier so that I was ready to talk to you guys. Like I stay up later at night to catch you guys when Adam and Kempire and all that.
I literally never believe you when you say that, but now I do.
Oh yeah, no, I believe her, and I know that Gabrielle is also in a different time zone. She's in France.
I used to be. I would miss when he was starting doing Hot Messy Topics. The only reason I wasn't there half the time is because I can't stay up past 6 o'clock. Like I'm like falling asleep right now. But yes, I'm telling you, Norma, because now, in my defense, we get up at 3:45 because my husband goes to work at 4:45.
Oh, okay.
So, but for 7 or 8 years now, I've been getting up that early. So really by that time, I've been up for like the acceptable amount of time to fall asleep. You know what I mean? Like 16 hours. But I've been sleeping a lot later so I could do these at night. Because now I look back, I'm like, that was ridiculous. I couldn't even stay up for Hot Messy Topics. Like,
well, but I mean, I'm lucky when
Anchor Watch kills me.
When Jason, see, Anchor Watch is perfect for me because my day is done.
That's your time.
Now, sometimes I do have to do like voiceover auditions, and I'm like, oh damn it, because I like to do them at night.
Who are you?
I'm just Norma. But anyway, the thing is, it works for me. But then when Adam has a 6:30 thing, I'm like, hell. Well, see, it's 9:30, but for me it's 6:30. I'm like, hell, I'm not getting up for no,
I just started trying to get to Anchor Watch because I'm freaking obsessed with Below Deck, and I'm like, guys, tell me about Below Deck. Tell me about Anchor Watch. Like,
Below Deck Down Under is a gem. See,
we need a whole different series for that.
We do, and I'm gonna make this brief.
What do you mean a whole different series for that? What do you mean a whole nother live for? You mean, right?
Yeah, because it's just, and I go back and forth. Sometimes I get confused because I was watching both of them at the same time. But I would watch these shows because there is some redemption. You see beauty. You see people working. I think after the Orange County, I'm not going to watch Beverly Hills, and I'll tell you why. Because of the toxicity, what happens to me is, and I know that Mocha can understand that because I was raised also, my grandmother was a psychic, my mother's a medium, and I pick up energy. I don't, I do my own cards and stuff, and I'll do cards with people, but I'm not really there. What I do is I pick up energy. I've told people, okay, you're going to have a baby, you're going to have this, and it works out. Okay, but as empaths, we pick up energy.
Yeah.
And I cannot sit in front of, if I'm going to watch something that has that terrible stuff in it, I'd rather watch a scripted show, number one, because I
You can
need to
rationalize that it's not real.
And yeah, exactly. It is not
Yeah.
real. And I know that people worked hard on it to write the script, to
Yeah.
do the auditions, to get casting. I mean, I know the whole machinations of that. And yeah, exactly, the whole process. And I respect it. And a lot of times I have to watch television because if I get called in for one of these shows, I need to know what I'm doing. And for me, the Housewives is such a waste of time because at first it was cute and quaint, and I liked following
I
Bethany.
miss old days.
But now it's just, and I don't believe in indulging Erica Kane and giving them the numbers. It's not for me. And that's fine for those who want it.
Erica Kane.
Oh, did I just call her Erica Kane?
I love that. Yeah, because I was like, oh my God, she's just like Erica Kane. She's like Erica Kane.
I meant Erica Jane. But
I know,
okay.
but she's perfect though.
Okay. I know sometimes I tell stories and it sounds like I'm name dropping, and I'm truly not. But I worked on a soap opera called Passions. I had like a little
Passions
on that.
Yes. Do you remember Passions?
Wasn't that on before Santa Barbara or after Santa Barbara?
I worked on Santa Barbara too. Oh my God.
You did? With Eden and Cruz?
Well, I don't know who they are. Do you know
from, like when I was 5?
Do you know who A. Martinez is?
Yes,
he was on Santa Barbara.
I think that's
Cruz. Yeah. He's a dear friend. But anyway,
Eden. I was obsessed when he was with Eden. That was like way back in the day.
And I
ask him about that.
I was working on Passions, and I had a young girl that I was playing a doctor, and I was taking care of this young woman who was pregnant in the show. And the actress was so sweet. And she was showing me pictures of her mom's house in the Hamptons. And she's like, I'm getting married. She wasn't pregnant in real life. I mean, it was just for the show. She says, how's my acting? Am I good? She was very self-conscious. At no moment did she tell me her mother's Susan Lucci.
What?
So here she's showing me pictures of her mom's house in the Hamptons, this, that, and the other. She's blonde.
That's the same girl she actually did play her real daughter though, right? Wait, she played her daughter on the show. She on General.
I don't know.
I think
my soap opera is General Hospital. I'm friends with a lot of Finola, Luke and Laura. I mean, Luke and Laura, yes. I know.
Can you explain something to me real quick?
Yeah, I've not been watching it.
Oh, you haven't? God damn it! I want to know how Austin, how he became Austin, because he was Franco, then he was Andy, he's Bobby, Andy, Franco, and now he's Austin. And it's all he's Todd from One Life to Live. But
the last time I worked on that show, I worked with him, and it was his last week. He was going to go back to New York.
Oh, really?
They were giving him a send-off party and all that. And then the next thing I know, he's back on the show. And I went, wait a minute.
I was excited when they all went on.
Because he's from New York, and they brought him here. And then
that's right, because the seat isn't it General Hospital's there, correct? Right?
Yeah. Although it's supposed to be Port Charles, but it's California.
Well, I know that's what I'm saying. I know it's supposed to be Port Charles, but it's taped out there, correct?
Yeah. And Monica Quartermain is a very dear friend of mine. I went to her
wedding. I love Monica.
Leslie Charleston. Yeah. So,
love her. Well, wait a minute. Eden from Santa Barbara is Todd's mom. No, Franco's mom on General now. Yeah.
I haven't watched it. One of my dearest friends on the show is Finola Hughes. Anna Devane.
Anna Devane. I love Anna. Yeah, she's on General. I love Anna. She supposedly has an evil twin, but we killed her off.
She's a very dear friend of mine.
Isn't she beautiful?
We did a project, as a matter of fact, during the pandemic that we shot on our phones.
She never ages. Anna Devane has not aged. She's like Erica Kane. She never ages. I love Anna.
She's the first time I met her, though, I was doing a play with Leslie Charleston, who plays Monica, and I saw her and Ian Buchanan, who is a very dear friend of mine. He played Duke, and I
Dude.
and I interrupted them. I said,
No.
"Excuse me," and Fanola turns around. She goes, "Hello," like really rude, and I'm like, well, "Fuck you! I just want you to come see our show." But anyway, but she's lovely. Everybody's lovely. I've not met anyone mean.
I'm obsessed with General Hospital. I'm trying to figure out. I missed like a whole week. Did you hear about like Steve Burton? He literally left because he refused to get vaccinated. I was like, good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, he
I was shocked though. I mean, for he really believed. Well, that really
another actor, the Australian guy. He played.
Who do you play? I know
Jax.
Jax. Did Jax leave? Jax might have left
Because of the COVID thing. It was the same thing because of the.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? Like, you know what? Steve was on. I mean, Jason's Jason since I can remember. I forgot that he was like my age, but Jason's been. I would like honestly. I want to know if he took all his black T-shirts with him and how many there were, and how many black leather jackets he has, and if he's allowed to take all of them. Think about it. He's never worn anything else. Jason's always been in a black T-shirt and a black leather jacket, and I guarantee General Hospital has closets and closets and closets full of them. And I want to know if he's allowed to take them because I was obsessed with him since he was on Teen Wolf. Well, Sabrina the Teenage Wolf. He was her girl.
When you go to the wardrobe department there, it's a whole just wing of the studio, and it's just aisles and aisles and aisles. And
they get to like pick out whatever they probably get to pick out stuff and take it home.
No. Usually, you don't, because it belongs to the wardrobe department. But sometimes, if you're working, like say, on an episodic, which is like TV show, every week a different show, like Law and Order or something. Mm-hmm. If you like the wardrobe, because they'll go out and buy special wardrobe. I worked on a show called Mad About You, and they came back in a Mercedes. I just remember this so vividly. Came back in a Mercedes, and it was all these clothes from Neiman Marcus, just all, and it was white T-shirts and jeans for Helen Hunt and Paul Reiser, and it was just and the opulence. But a lot of times you can ask wardrobe, can I purchase this if it's something that they don't think they're going to use, and you can buy it half off. But they don't.
Steve Burton, he has to have all his white T-shirts and his black leather jackets. They're just iconic. They're iconic.
Well, since he was a series regular, he probably did get. I mean, but he may not want to keep it though, because it's.
You know what? Because now, like, they're trying to make. Okay, well, I don't want to talk about it because it upsets me. Because Sam and him are supposed to be together, and because he's not there, there's no other Jason. Well, there is, but I don't like who it is. So they have her with Nicholas. No, not Nicholas.
Did they replaced him for another actor to play him?
Oh God, yeah. He's like, this is the fourth Jason because he was a different person for like a long time. And he was somebody else, then he was his twin, and then he was away for 5 years. But then we got the real Jason back, but then he left because of COVID. But yeah, he was it's a whole thing.
I don't watch it. But if I ever go back, I'll let everyone know.
I have to know how somebody's got to tell me how Bobby became Mandy, and then he was Franco, and then he was married to Elizabeth, and now all of a sudden he's Austin. And I'm like, but he was just no. And Sonny and Carly broke up. All right, I'm clearly really hungry right now. So
Sonny Maurice is such a sweet guy. He's a great guy. Wonderful guy. It's too bad you're not coming to California, because then I can invite you.
Oh my God! Listen, I'm afraid to fly. I'm just afraid to fly.
Oh, that's okay. But I would take you to set, and you could meet all of them.
Oh my God! I would love it. I'm like, please, can I just like be a regular? Not a regular. What's it called?
An extra?
For me, and I just want to be an extra. I want to literally. All right, I don't want to talk about it because I'll get too excited.
Well, how long have we been on? It's been like 5 hours.
3 hours. Yeah,
3 hours now.
I've had to pee for 2 of them. So.
Well, I'm going to sign off because it's 6:11. I got to make dinner.
9:11.
It was so nice chatting with all of you guys.
Now I'm going to blow up your DM and ask you all my spiritual questions. So beware.
Yeah, we should do that also on.
We do
a lot. Do a little thing too and talk. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's not like I won't just see you on Twitter, so.
But we'll see each other in New York.
I know. I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's like it's the furthest one out. But
So
I got to remember.
Are you driving in and driving back?
I'm driving in, but I'm going to stay the night of the show and then the next day and then drive home.
Okay.
But
yeah, I'm staying with my son, so it's all good.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll think about it. It's the whole thing.
New York is expensive. It's expensive to stay there.
Yeah.
So
I forgot that I don't live that far.
Like, yeah, you don't. New Jersey.
My husband's like, what the fuck were you thinking? I'm like, here I go cursing. All right, I gotta go. I'm acting like a retard now.
Okay. Well, good night, everyone. Thank you so much. Thanks, Krista. Good night, Mocha. Good night.
Good night, Mocha.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys. There's 11 people watching that aren't subscribed, so
everybody make sure to hit the like button.
Oh yeah, and get subscribed, bitches.
I did subscribe. So.
Okay.
All right.
All right, guys. Love you. Good night. Good night, Coffee Buzz.
Oh, Coffee Buzz. Good night.
Yeah, no, she was on. I tried to get her to call us, but she's.
Okay. All right. Well, you take care. Get some sleep.
I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. How do I sign off here, guys? Sorry.